Dodger Stadium tonight before another sellout audience. Fernando Valenzuela gets a true test. He'll go against the number one hitting team in the National League, the defending world champion Philadelphia Phillies. The Phillies are 6-1 against left-handers this year. The only southpaw to beat them, Jerry Royce of the Dodgers. And the Dodgers tonight go against Marty Bystrom, the first game of the series. The sponsors of the pregame show are pleased to present to our guests a gift certificate from Sears. Now through May 30th, save $30 on a KS 500 SLR 35mm camera, just $129.99 at Sears. Stay tuned for exciting Dodger baseball, the Dodgers and the Phillies. Be with us before each time.
Good morning, ma'am. Any agricultural items to declare?
I declare I have such a case of jet lag.
Open your suitcase.
Do you know who I am? I am the
Nearly 1 out of every 5 people residing in Florida live in condominiums. And because condominium living is different, it does raise questions. Who owns the pool? Can you plant a tree? Can you use a gift on the patio? And just what is Florida's condominium law? The answers to these and other questions can be found in Bill Dealers free at your county library or by writing condominiums to John Station, South Anchorage, 32001. The service message at this station and the Florida Department of Business Regulation. Free champagne, plenty of entertainment, and a drawing for a weekend for two at the Singer Island Holiday Inn. Plus, between now and the party, just drive to the hotel's patio restaurant. Say you're a WJNO listener and receive a free glass of champagne during happy hour. The WJNO Summer Jamboree, this coming Wednesday night at the Singer Island Holiday Inn between 6 and 8 p.m. See you there.
Good morning, WJNO News Radio time. It's 15 and a half minutes after the hour of 8 o'clock. I'm John Fricano.
I'm John Clark Wheeler. But where I would most rather be is my old stomping grounds in Birmingham, Alabama.
Paul Harvey.
Good day.
Dallas Townsend, CBS News. Skies are clearing, but it's only briefly. A new storm is coming. John Coleman, ABC News, Chicago.
This is the Wall Street Journal report, where gold is going and why.
Morning on WJNO News Radio.
Information of the Los Angeles Dodgers and subreddit is prohibited. Hi, everyone. This is Jerry Doggett along with Ben Scully and Ross Porter. And here we are at beautiful Dodger Stadium for the game tonight between the Dodgers and the world champion Philadelphia Phillies. It's Fernando Valenzuela against Marty Bystrom, the young right-hander for the Phillies who was off to such a good start but has lost his last two. And Valenzuela, of course, is off to a sensational start, as you know. 8 wins and no losses and 10 in his Major League career. Batting orders for the ball game tonight for the champ. Lonnie Smith will lead off and play right field. He's in there instead of Bakerside, who's still nursing an injury. Pete Rose will be playing first base, batting in the number 2 spot. Mike Schmidt will be at third base. Keith Moreland will bat fourth and do the catching. Gary Matthews in left field. And Gary Maddox in center field. Manny Trio will be the second baseman. Larry Boa at shortstop. And right-hander Marty Bystrom to do the pitching. Bystrom has won 2 and lost 2 this year. The Dodgers handed him his first big league career loss in Philadelphia when Jerry Royce bested the Philadelphia Phillies 2-1. Now the Dodger batting order, Darrell Thomas leads off at second base. Ken Landreau will be in center. Dusty Baker in left. Steve Garvey at first. Ron Fay at third. Pedro Guerrero at right. Mike Scioscia catching. Bill Russell at short. And Fernando Valenzuela to do the pitching. Now the national anthem, played by the William S. Hart High School Band. ball after this message.
American Kidney Fund? My brother needs a kidney transplant, and I wanted to give him one of mine. Now, he's in the Army, so the surgery's covered, but I don't have enough money to tide my family over while I'm laid up because of the operation. So I'm touring as to whether I should help my brother or provide for my family. Somebody said the American Kidney Fund might be able to help. You can. Great.
Help the American Kidney Fund. 800-638-8299.
With the American Kidney Fund, Dr. feels that my baby girl has kidney disease. Her face is all swelled, and I can't do any more to help her here. He still has to go to the hospital, but I don't have enough money to travel all that way. The doctor told me to contact you, that you could help. You can help?
Help the American Kidney Fund. 800-638-8299.
Hi, this is Merv Griffin. Somebody said laughter is the shortest line between two people. Well, selling laughter is part of my job, but sometimes there are people who aren't buying. I'm thinking of all the poverty-stricken people in the world with sick and starving kids. If you want to put a little laughter in their lives, how about contributing to CARE? Give those kids nourishing food. Send a check or money order to CARE.
Please send your check or money order to CARE, 145 Madeira Avenue, Coral Gables, 33134.
The best pitching matchup of the season in either league. When Bert Hooton goes against Steve Carlton, there are still available tickets for the Wednesday night game. So if you'd like to see a real good one on Wednesday night, make your plans to come out here and see Bert Hooton, 6-0, go against Steve Carlton, 7-0. Fernando Valenzuela, down in the bullpen, has concluded his warm-up. The Dodgers poised at the dugout off to the left, ready to take the field. And the Phillies come into town in second place. They have won 21 and lost 13. They trailed the Cardinals by 1 game. The Dodgers have a 5.5-game edge over second-place Cincinnati. The Dodgers with the best record in baseball, 26-9, and with their best winning streak of the year, 7 intact. The Phillies, as they arrive, are not on a streak. They have won 5 of their last 10 ball games. The Dodgers have won 9 of their last 10 ball games. They've been trying to shake off Cincinnati, but the Reds have won 6 straight. Atlanta has dropped a little further behind. The Braves are now 7.5 back, with Houston finally arriving at the 500 mark, tied with the Giants, 8.5 back, and San Diego 12.5 back. New York and Chicago in the National League East are clubs that have not won more games than Valenzuela. New York has won 8, the same number that Fernando has, and the Cubs have won only 5, and boy, are they having their problems. The schedule this evening, Montreal is at San Diego, New York at San Francisco, and of course our game here. Those are the only games scheduled. In the American League, the Angels are in Cleveland, and we'll give you a look at the scores in that ball game. It is 7-1, Angels leading in the 9th inning. Chicago beat Toronto 7-2. Baltimore beats Oakland 5-1. And Oakland now all of a sudden is losing. They've lost 5 straight. And the Yankees edge Kansas City 2-1. Now the Dodgers take the field. Sosa behind the plate. Garvey at first. Darrell Thomas at second. Davey Lopes may not be able to play until the Cincinnati series over the weekend. Russell at short. Shea is at third. And in left field, Baker. In center field, Landreau, Guerrero in right. And as Fernando arrives at the mound, a round of applause for Fernando. He has certainly captured the hearts of the baseball fans in Southern California. For that matter, he's beginning to get all kinds of national acclaim. Among other things, the Phillies have added this game to their television schedule, so the folks in the Philadelphia area get a chance to see Fernando. He did not pitch in Philadelphia when the Dodgers were there on the last trip. His turn did not come up there. He pitched in Montreal and then in New York. So Fernando, who won his last game on a 9th-inning home run by Pedro Guerrero, 3-2 over Montreal, will be trying to make it 9 straight. So the Fernando story continues. We'll see how it goes now against the best hitting team in the league, the world champion Philadelphia Phillies. Okay, we're all set. Time to play ball. The Dodgers and the Phillies. And now for the play-by-play, here's Vin Scully. Vinny?
Thank you, Jerry. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant good evening to you. Welcome to Dodger Stadium and the prospects of another dramatic evening, and perhaps made even more so by the presence of Fernando's mother and father and sister. In fact, this might very well be the most pressure that Fernando has experienced, and that's only a maybe. He does not appear to be that much involved in his wins and the record, etc., etc. But tonight has to be a particularly important night because for the first time in his big league career, his mom and dad and sister are sitting in a box just to our right, and they'll be watching his every move. As the first time we saw his mother show any emotion since they've been here. When he walked out to the mound, she applauded. And it'll be pretty hard to do the ball game tonight watching Fernando without sneaking a peek down the horseshoe bend of the press box to see how the Valenzuelas are doing up there. The fastball to Lonnie Smith is low, and the count ball 1-0. The Phillies are without a solid ball player, Bake McBride, who's had bad knees. Fernando's screwball is swung on and missed. And the count 1-1. McBride unable to play when the Dodgers were in Philadelphia. He's played in only 18 games this year. So we saw a lot of Greg Gross in Philadelphia, and with Fernando tonight, we'll see Lonnie Smith. And a screwball is swung on and missed, and the count 1-2. Draped over a railing just to the left of the Philadelphia bat rack, a former big league pitcher, and extremely interested in what he's about to witness, Dallas Green. So Fernando working on Lonnie Smith, and the 1-2 pitch is fisted foul outside of first, and he cracked the bat. So Lonnie was jammed on a pitch in on the thumbs, cracked the handle of the bat, and he'll have to go over and get another. We had the pleasure of meeting Fernando's mother and father the other night in the elevator at Dodger Stadium. And it was a magnificent picture as his mother literally clung to him. And it might have been, for all we know, the first time they had ever been in an elevator. And his father seemed, I guess to look at the facial expression, a little pained by all the fuss and feathers and all the excitement. But now you can just see their eyes riveted on their son as his 1-2 screwball is hit to third. Ron Say has it, throws him out. So Lonnie Smith grounds to third, one away, and now Pete Rose coming out. Pete batting .321. 6 RBIs. He has been in a slump. He finally had a double in San Diego to break a string of consecutive outs. And so you have a cinch Hall of Famer at the plate and a youngster who is making all kinds of noises on the mound, and they lock up. And Valenzuela's fastball is low. Ball 1-0. On deck, of course, will be another serious challenge, as will all the Phils for Valenzuela. But on deck, the powerful Mike Schmidt. The 1-0 pitch to Rose, low with a fastball. Ball 2-0. Mike Soch is the plate umpire. The Dodger infield with Steve Garvey and Darrell Thomas. Bill Russell at short and Ron Say at third. The outfield is intact with Dusty Baker, Kenny Landreau, and Pedro Guerrero. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Pete Rose. Fastball in there. So Valenzuela throwing 3 consecutive fastballs to Rose. Pete, of course, in that familiar crouch, hitting right-handed. The 2-1 pitch, screwball, low and inside, ball 3. 3-1 to Pete Rose. Valenzuela, 8 victories and no losses. The world knows that. Fernando into the windup, and the 3-1 pitch to Pete is whacked towards right center, but Landreau is playing him there. The first inning, and now one of those marvelous confrontations that you expect to see when you come to a big league game, and that is Fernando Valenzuela working on Mike Schmidt. Schmidt hitting .282, 11 home runs, 28 runs batted in. He is without a doubt the muscle man in the league, and Fernando into the windup and delivers, and the screwball on the outside corner for a strike. And where the other 2 outs, there was a great degree of happiness that the game is underway. Now this one is a big confrontation as they eyeball each other. The strike 1 pitch to Mike. Fastball in there. Strike 2. 0-2 to Mike Smith. Fernando, back of the rubber. He knows Mike Smith. He knows him well, you can bet. And the strike 2 pitch on the way. Fastball hit up along third base foul. And Say lets it roll by. 0-2. The Dodgers did well with Philadelphia, winning 2 out of 3. Mike Schmidt carries a very big stick everywhere, and particularly here at Dodger Stadium. He's hit 14 home runs at Dodger Stadium. A couple of years ago, he hit a half a dozen here. So Mike Schmidt with 2 out bases empty, 0-2 the count, and Keith Moreland, the catcher, on deck. Just the start of the ballgame. Fernando looks down the barrel to get a sign from Mike Scioscia. The left-hander ready, and the strike 2 pitch is high and outside. Ball 1, 1-2. He threw a lot of fastballs to Pete Rose, fell behind, and then Rose flied out. Now he has Mike Schmidt 1-2. Fernando into the windup, and it's a fastball lifted to right field and deep. Back goes Guerrero to the track. It's gone. A home run. Mike Schmidt hit a fastball the other way over the right center field wall. And just as he did in his last game, Fernando finds himself behind on a home run. It was Chris Fire who hit a curveball, and it is Mike Schmidt who hits the fastball the other way. And it is 1-0 in favor of Philadelphia. The only sign of emotion or expression after the ball cleared the fence, Fernando's mother kind of rubbed her hair with her left hand and lowered her head for the moment. The pitch to Keith Moreland is a strike, and the count 0-1. 1-0 Philadelphia. Fernando back with a screwball way outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. So despite the fact that he had to count his way, he tried to sneak a fastball over, and Mike Schmidt hit it out. The 1-1 pitch on the way. Screwball pulled on the ground to say. Ron picks it up, and that's that. But it's a run for Philadelphia. 1 run, 1 hit. A home run by Mike Schmidt. And at the end of half an inning, Philadelphia won. And the Dodgers coming up.
Hey, you in the blue car. You sure look bouncy today. Oh, I see. It's your shocks that are making you jump like that. Well, listen, right now, Midas will give you 4 shocks for the price of 3. And that's installed. And if anything ever goes wrong with a Midas Lifeguard Spring Guard or Super Guard shock, Midas will replace it free for as long as you own your car. So get 4 shocks for the price of 3 at Midas. But hurry, this offer ends May 30th, and if you miss it, you'll really be shook up. Get the Midas touch. Nobody else has it.
You could win the grand prize in the White Westinghouse Move to the Sun Sweepstakes. Ownership title to your own Captain Resort condominium for 1 week every year for life. Or one of 50 one-week Florida vacations. Prizes include round-trip airfare on Eastern Airlines. See a participating White Westinghouse dealer for complete details and entry grants. No purchase necessary. Voids are prohibited. Open to U.S. residents 18 years or older on April 1st. White Westinghouse Move to the Sun Sweepstakes entries must be received by June 1st, 1981.
Bottom of the first inning, the Phillies have a run on the home run to right field by Mike Schmidt. Now the Dodgers will go up against Monty Byston, and let's set Philadelphia defensively. Keith Moreland behind the plate. Pete Rose at first. Manny Trio at second. Larry Boad short. And Mike Schmidt at third. In the outfield, Gary Matthews in left. Gary Maddox in center. And Lonnie Smith around in right. The Angels just defeated Cleveland 7-2. And now let's take a look at Marty Byston. Byston was 5-0 last year and an earned run average of 1.5. He was brilliant. Then he won his first 2 games this year, and the Dodgers beat him in a tough one 2-1 in Philadelphia as Valenzuela pitched him. For Byston, he'll be 23 in July, so he's just starting out. He's a big fella, 6'5", 200-pounder. The Phillies won every game he started last fall, 5 in the regular season and 2 in the postseason. He pitched in the Championship Series. He also pitched in the World Series. And now he's leading 1-0 in the first inning as Darrell Thomas will start it off. When Byston lost to the Dodgers, he allowed 2 earned runs in 7 1/3 innings. His last victory, he beat the Giants 3-1. So Marty working on Darrell Thomas, Kenny Landreau, and Dusty Baker. Byston into the windup. The right-hander delivers, and the fastball is lifted to left field. Matthews was shallow, so he backs up a bit and makes the catch for the out. So Darrell Thomas, first ball swinging and a fly ball, 1 down, and Kenny Landreau coming up.
Number 44, center fielder, Landreau.
Kenny Landreau hitting .291. With 4 home runs and 20 runs batted in. Dusty Baker is on deck. When the Dodgers batted against Bystrom in Philadelphia, Landro was 2 for 2. So Kenny checks in. Mike Schmidt up about even with the bag at third. Rose in normal depth at first. And the right-hander delivers in the fastball at the knees for a strike. 0-1. Phillies come into the game 1 game back of St. Louis in the standings. They've been playing 500 ball on this road trip. They've split 6 for strike 1 pitch. Landro takes outside. Philadelphia, tough on left-handers. The only left-hander to beat them this year is Jerry Royce. They're 6-1 against left-hand pitching. The 1-1 pitch to Landro is a fastball low and outside. Ball 2, 2-1. The Dodgers against right-handers have won 20 and lost only 3. The 2-1 pitch to Landro, off speed, hit into right field on a base hit. So Bystrom trying to change up on Landro and Kenny single. That'll bring up Dusty Baker and then Steve Garvey. Dusty Baker with a 5-game hitting streak, batting .311. The only surprise for Dusty, because he's playing great ball, he has only 1 home run, 15 runs batted in. Shea has 8 home runs, Guerrero has 7, and Dusty with only 1. The Dodgers come into this game having hit 30 home runs in 35 games. Landro off the bag, and the pitch to Baker, breaking ball strike in the count 0-1. 1 away, bottom of the first inning. The Phillies on a wrong field home run, so-called, hit by Mike Schmidt. He hit a Valenzuela fastball. Whoops, might have been a balk. Yep, Bystrom. A little too quick in trying to get over to first base, and he balked. It was called immediately by Jim Quick. And Landro is at second, and Dallas Green is on the steps in front of the Philadelphia dugout, doing a long-distance chewing call on Jim Quick. One thing about Quick, he called it as he is named. There was no doubt about it, and Green is hollering at the first base umpire. So the tying run is at second with 1 out. Baker trying to pick up Landro. Bystrom delivers, and there's a little ground ball. He jammed it. It's hit down to Manny Trio, and that'll be that for Baker. Landro takes third. So with 2 out, the tying run is 90 feet away, and the batter is Steve Garvey. Steve Garvey. With a 7-game winning streak. They've won 6 straight on this homestand. They're down 1-0 here in the first inning. And Garvey trying to pick up Landro, hitting .264 with 3 home runs and 28 runs batted in. Bystrom deals low, ball 1. On deck, the blazing hot Ron Shea. Dodger Stadium, Scupper deep. 1 ball and no strikes to Garvey. Bystrom back to his hitter. Breaking ball. Swung on and missed. Bystrom has a good one. That one was a slow breaking ball. 1-1 the count to Steve Garvey. Bystrom on and off the rubber. Marty not quite ready. Tomorrow night it's Bob Welch and Dick Ruthven. And then Wednesday night the undefeated Bert Hooton and Steve Carlin. Here's a 1-1 pitch to Garvey. Breaking ball over nicely. Strike 2, 1-2. Garvey leading the club in RBIs with 28. Shea is back up in with 26. Now Bystrom ready, and the 1-2 pitch on the way. Breaking ball outside. Ball 2. 2-2 to Garvey. He's throwing him a lot of breaking balls and slow breaking balls. Now Bystrom back up on top again. Marty into the windup as Landro's down the line, and the pitch is a breaking ball and a high drive into right field. But going back is Ronnie Smith and makes the catch at the wall. That's a 370 sign. So the Dodgers leave Landro, and at the end of an inning, Phillies 1, Dodgers 0.
Boy, Harry, I'll tell you. You know, everybody's on the tape these days.
Yeah, Joe, they sure are. All they think about is what's in it for me. Well, I gotta run. I gotta save it to Red Cross.
Red Cross? Yeah. What's in it for you?
Hold it, Joe. I'm not like those other guys. I'm a Red Cross volunteer.
I teach first aid. First aid? Harry, I thought you was all thumbs. I was. They taught me, now I teach others. Oh, I get it. Picking up a little extra change, huh? That's smart. No. Red Cross volunteers aren't like that. We don't get paid. This is the 100th year we've been helping people with water safety and disaster relief, lots of other things. We get a kick out of it. 100 years? Yeah. You don't get paid and you get a kick out of it? Gee. Hey, Harry, you think maybe there's something in it for me? Could be, Joe. Could be.
Red Cross, ready for a new century. How about you?
Philadelphia leading the Dodgers 1-0 as we go to the second inning. And looking at this magnificent stadium, jam-packed with interested baseball fans, reminds us that the man who built Dodger Stadium, an old friend of ours, Jack Yount, and it was Jack's genius that put it up. Jack, we understand, is currently in Loma Linda Hospital, and I'm sure he's probably listening to the ball game. The stadium is just the way you built it, Jack. It's in great hands, and we got a great ball game. And our best wishes to you, indeed, for a speedy recovery. In the second inning, it'll be Gary Matthews, then Gary Maddox, and Manny Trio. 1-0 Philadelphia. We have a lot of people here who came a long way to see this ball game. But no one's going to outdistance 5 guests particularly. Matthews takes outside. There are 5 sports medicine doctors from the People's Republic of China visiting Dodger Stadium tonight. The 1-0 pitch, screwball swung on and missed, 1-1. The doctors are guests to Dr. Frank Jobe. They're spending 10 days in Los Angeles observing the practice of sports medicine at Centinela Hospital, and they're out here this evening. Screwball, iron outside, ball 2-1 to Gary Matthews. Matthews hitting .313. The 2-1 pitch coming up to Gary. Swung on and missed. The screwball in the count 2-2. The home run was on the fastball. The other night, Spire hit a curveball for a home run, and Dawson hit a screwball for a home run. Valenzuela ready in the 2-2 pitch. Screwball. Got him swinging. Valenzuela came into the game leading the league in several departments, and among others, strikeouts. He now has 69. And here's Gary Maddox, old Daddy Longlegs, hitting .319, the Gold Glove center fielder. He's hit in 6 of his last 7. Gary, right-hand hitter, and Fernando ready and delivers. Fastball hit on the thumbs, a little pop fly to Darrell Thomas, 15 feet behind the bag at second. So Maddox's jam will pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
This is WJNO West Palm Beach, where mornings you'll hear the morning team of John Fricano, John Clark Wheeler, Gabby Bell, and Paul Harvey. WJNO News Radio, all you'll ever need to know.
Manny Trio, the second baseman of the Phillies, with a 7-game hitting streak. Trio had a home run and 3 RBIs in the series in Philadelphia. He looks at a curveball. That's low, ball 1. That might have been the first breaking ball that we've seen Fernando throw tonight. 1-0 to Manny Trio. On deck, Larry Boa. Fernando screwball in for a strike. The count 1-1. Larry Boa is not in the on-deck circle because you don't get a good vantage point. He's well out of the circle on the grass, about as close as the wall allows to watch Fernando. Fastball fouled away. That carries below the press box level, and the count 1-2. Directly below the area, occupied by Fernando's mother and dad and his sister. 1-2 to Manny Trio. Valenzuela's 1-2 pitch. Screwball check swing. Soft line drive to Fernando. And he just drops the ball on the mound and walks away. So the Phillies are gone in order. And at the end of an inning and a half, the Phillies won, the Dodgers nothing.
And that's why we say, go out and buy a bunch today.
That's your new TV commercial, Mr. Sloak, for Snacky Crackies with Raisin Pits.
How much did that actually cost me?
Cost?
Yes.
Well, we're still adding it all up here. 42,000.
TV is so expensive.
Not as long as there aren't any changes.
Did I mention there may soon be a worldwide shortage of raisin pits?
One TV version without raisins.
How much will that add to the
3,000.
And we want to tell Health Nuts we make snackies with Health Nuts.
279.
And we need a version that will talk to the financial community.
The singing mouse and the dancing bunny in a business suit for...
Let me have that one for you. 300.
If business conditions make it necessary, with radio you can afford to change commercials fast. If you want to really target consumer groups, it won't cost a fortune to make commercials that fit each audience. Put amazingly flexible radio to work as a primary medium. Radio is red hot. For the red hot facts, call this station or the Radio Advertising Bureau. They brought you this message.
One of the super pitching matchups of the season, Steve Carlton of the world champion Phillies against the Dodgers' Bert Hooton, will take place on Wednesday night here at Dodger Stadium. Both Carlton and Hooton are undefeated with the Phillies ace, having recorded 7 wins, and Hooton posting 6. Both reserved and general admission tickets are on sale for Wednesday night's game at the Dodgers Advanced Ticket Office, 1750 Stadium Way, and at Ticketron outlets and Mutual Theater Ticket Agency.
Bottom of the second inning, the Phillies leading the Dodgers 1-0 on a first-inning home run by Mike Schmidt. Meanwhile, John Kibler has come over to the Dodgers dugout, and he and Tommy Lasorda have a few brief words, and then Kibler turns and goes back on the line. Ron Cey been virtually carrying the Dodgers lately. 8 home runs, 26 runs batted in, and he was named National League Player of the Week. It was announced today by National League President Chuck Feeney. And, well, he might be proclaimed as Player of the Week. The pitch to Ron inside, ball 1. He has 5 home runs in his last 6 games, 8 home runs in his last 15. In the last 6 games, he has a dozen runs batted in. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Ron Cey. Bystrom is outside this time, so he's been in and out, and the count 2-0. Time call for a moment. Lanny Harris looking out toward center field. I'm not sure if the lights of an ambulance might be visible. Apparently now the angle is better and we're ready. And the 2-0 pitch on the way to Cey is a ground ball foul down towards Danny Ozark, who lets it roll along. 2-1 to Cey. He'll be followed by Pedro Guerrero and then Mike Socha. Young Marty Bystrom, undefeated last year and undefeated after 2 starts this year. Battle tested in a championship game in the World Series, and all at the age of 22. The 2-1 pitch swung on and missed, 2-2. Manny Mota coaching at first, Danny Ozark over at third. Bystrom looks down the barrel to get a sign from Keith Moreland, and the 2-2 pitch on the way, fastball low, ball 3. Mike Schmidt with 2 out, homer to right field. He had a fastball over the fence, almost right center. The Dodgers had Landro single, balked to second, took third on a ground ball, but stayed there as Garvey sent Smith to the right field wall. Cey hits a high fly ball into deep center field. Back goes Maddox at the wall, leaps in the air and makes the catch for the out. So the Gold Glove of Gary Maddox is very much on display as he leaps high in the air at the 395 sign to take a home run away from Ron Cey. 1 out. Pedro Guerrero the batter. Guerrero has hit in 4 straight. He's with 7 home runs, 15 runs batted in. And Bystrom delivers and the pitch is strike. Boy, that Cey is a tough out. He actually would have hit it over the wall if Maddox's glove isn't there to catch it. It's gone. Now the strike 1 pitch to Guerrero. Fastball on the outside corner at the knees. So Pete's in a jam, 0-2. Guerrero batting .287. On deck, Mike Socha. Bystrom into the windup. Marty strike 2 pitch on the way. Half swing, badly fooled. Guerrero strikes out. So 2 down. And Mike Socha coming up. Socha is struggling with the bat. When the Dodgers arrived in Philadelphia for their 3-game series with the Phillies, Mike was hitting .345. That's 80 points ago. And he has a look at a pitch low, ball 1-0. Socha, in that series in Philadelphia against, well, with a lot of his friends and relatives watching, he was 0 for 11. He has a fastball on the outside corner for a strike. 1-0 Philadelphia, bottom of the second inning. Bill Russell on deck. Bystrom into the windup, and his strike one change is hit into left center field for a base hit. Maddox over with Lonnie Smith, and up with it is Gary Matthews to get it back in. So Mike Socha, a 2-out single, and Bill Russell coming up.
Shortstop, Bill Russell.
Bill Russell has been unable to get going. He showed some signs of swinging a reasonable hot bat in the series in Philadelphia. He hit 3 for 11 back there, but he's only hitting .211. And Bystrom delivers on the outside corner for a strike. 0-1. Russell, of course, has had his share of problems. That stress fracture of the ball of the left foot, the bruised side that occurred in New York, then the sore elbow. He was hit by a throw the other night. He fouls it back in the count 0-2. Davey Lopes, meanwhile, sidelined with a sore ankle, and it's a question now as to whether Lopes will be able to play at all in the remainder of the homestand. It might not be until Friday in Cincinnati before Dave Lopes can play. Again, Lanny Harris looking out towards center field. There's something out there that is a distraction. 0-2 the count. All right, Russell back up to the plate. Mike Socha at first with 2 down. Second inning, and the Phillies leading the Dodgers 1-0. Bystrom delivers, and Russell way out in front strikes out. So the Dodgers, with 2 strikeouts in the inning, get a base hit and leave Socha. And at the end of 2, Philadelphia 1 and the Dodgers 0.
I forgot my pill.
Oh, you'll sneeze and cough all through the movie.
Would you people kindly lower your voices?
No, not my cold pill, my high blood pressure pill.
You know what the doctor said?
I exercise, watch my weight, use less salt.
High blood pressure pills every day, too.
I'll take it now.
Oh, now can we please watch the movie?
High blood pressure, treated for life. The National High Blood Pressure Education Program.
So far here at Dodger Stadium before a jam-packed house. Philadelphia leading 1-0 on a home run to right field by Mike Schmidt in the first inning. The Dodgers almost got it back as Ron Say hit a shot that would have cleared the center field fence, but Gary Maddox got his arm and glove above the fence to haul it in. So it is 1-0 Philadelphia. Fernando Valenzuela loosening up. A reminder tomorrow night, a sellout. It'll be Bob Welch and Dick Ruffin. There are still seats for Wednesday night's game, the so-called Battle of the Undefeated, when Bert Hooton will tangle with Lefty, as they call him in Philadelphia, Steve Carlin. Right now, let's go to the third. 1-0 Philadelphia. And for more play-by-play, here's Ross Forty.
Thanks, Vin. Larry Bow will lead off for the Phillies in the third. Then it'll be Marty Bystrom and Lonnie Smith. Valenzuela retiring 6 of the first 7 to face him, but Mike Schmidt hit one over the right center field wall. The Phillies are leading 1-0. The Phillies had gone about 70 innings without a home run until Schmidt homered yesterday in Philadelphia. And Mike's homer tonight is 12th of the year to lead the National League. Larry Boa starts tonight hitting .274. Like all the other Phillies, Larry has to be a little bit anxious facing Valenzuela tonight for the first time. But this probably doesn't compare with his first game in pro baseball. Boa fouls going over the Philly dugout off to the right out play. When Boa broke into professional baseball back in 1966, do you know who he faced the first game he ever played? Nolan Ryan. And Ryan struck him out 4 times. Boa sprays another one foul off the right field side, 0-2. What a feeling that must have been. Paul must have thought, I'll be back in Sacramento. This is the way it's going to go. But Ryan still got 21 that night. The pitch is outside the area for a ball 1-2. And then last year, in the final game of the League Championship Series, Boa got a key hit to start the winning rally off Nolan Ryan in Houston. Boa grounds one to say, who backhands it near the bag. Low throw to Garvey. Steve digs it out. One away. So Garvey digs it out of the dirt, one away in the Philadelphia third inning. And that'll bring on Marty Bystrom.
Marty Bystrom.
Bystrom has 2 base hits and 11 at-bats so far. Bystrom had never tasted a defeat in the big leagues until Jerry Royce and the Dodgers shaded him at the vet recently 2-1. Bystrom lost his last start in San Francisco. The Giants knocked him out after 3 innings. He gave up 5 runs at Candlestick. Bystrom swinging from the right side. Misses, and it's 0-1. Fabulous Fernando, his 9th start of the year. He's gone 9 innings in every game he's pitched so far. There's the Scrooge swung on and missed by Bystrom. 0-2. No, Valenzuela does not have a complete game in every start. Remember, he went out for a pinch hitter in the 10th inning in Montreal, and Steve Howe wrapped that one up for him. 2-strike pitch is high with the fastball, 1-2. Phillies 1, Dodgers nothing. Third inning, 1 out, nobody on. On deck, Lonnie Smith. The 1-2 pitch is chased and missed by Bystrom. Strike 3. 2 strikeouts for Fernando. And now he'll face the leadoff man, Lonnie Smith, who opened the ball game by bouncing out to Ron Say. Dodgers with a 7-game winning streak on the line. Undefeated on this homestand. With 2 to go after tonight. Lonnie Smith out of Compton waited in the pitch to him. Screwball tried to bunt, left it in Socha's gloves. Strike 1. 0-1. Lonnie Smith, no relation to Reggie Smith, although both went to school at Compton. The 0-1 pitch to Lonnie. That's low for a ball, 1-1. Lonnie went to Centennial High School. Had a fine rookie season with the Phillies at .339. The 1-1 pitch to him. Foul back, 1-2. Smith finished third behind the Dodgers' Steve Howe. The Expos' Bill Gullickson for the Rookie of the Year award. 33 stolen bases last year. He can fly. The 1-2 pitch. Scrooge got him looking. Smith drops the bat at the plate. He knew it was there. So Fernando strikes out 2 in the inning. For the second inning in a row, Philadelphia's gone in order. Valenzuela's retired 7 in a row since the home run by Smith. And that's the difference at the end of 2 1/2. Phillies 1, Dodgers nothing.
Honey, I just figured how we can save about $2,800 a year.
Let me guess. We give up our season tickets? We forget about Marcy's braces?
No way.
We give up the health club. I make my own clothes.
Wrong again.
We give up buying food. We live off the land.
Nope, none of the above. But we do give up something.
I give up. What do we give up?
The second car.
Well, you need your car to drive to work. That leaves mine. Oh, forget it, Buster.
I don't need mine. The company's setting up a ride-sharing program with car and van pools. Some people from work who live near us are forming a van pool.
How will that save us 28 big ones?
12 monthly car payments, maintenance and insurance on one car, and my weekly gasoline expenses dropped from $16 to $6.
Oh, fantastic. What do we do with all that extra money we save?
Pay our bills on time.
That's terrific, honey.
Brought to you by this station and the U.S. Department of Transportation.
Tickets for Wednesday night's game between the world champion Phillies and the Dodgers are just as close as your local Ticketron outlet. You'll find a Ticketron outlet at most Sears, Montgomery Ward, and Tower Record stores. Both reserved and general admission tickets are on sale for Wednesday night's game, which features a great pitching matchup between 2 undefeated pitchers, Steve Carlton of the Phillies 7-0 and Bert Hoots of the Dodgers 6-0. There's a lot going on at Dodger Stadium. Be part of it. Leads off for the Dodgers in the bottom of the third inning. The Phillies leading 1-0 on a Mike Schmidt home run. Valenzuela with 9 hits so far this year, batting .360, and the first pitch to him is bounced foul back of the plate. Valenzuela to be followed by Darryl Thomas and Ken Landreau in the bottom of the third. The Dodgers have 2 hits off Marty Bystrom, a single by Ken Landreau in the opening inning. He was balked to second, got to third with 2 out. And Garvey then put Lonnie Smith against the wall in right field for his drive. There's a bouncer to Pete Rose at first. He'll walk into the bag, and that'll do it for Valenzuela. So 1 out. Say just missed a tying home run in the second inning. Maddox stretched his glove above the wall to the right of the 385-foot sign in left center to steer that one. Darrell Thomas playing second base tonight as Davey Lopes rests for an injured ankle of his. Darrell slide to left his first time up. Jack Clark is homer tonight for the Giants. They're leading New York 1-0 at the end of 2 at Candlestick. And the other game underway in the National League and on the schedule tonight, Montreal and San Diego scoreless through 4. Sanderson against Welch. Everybody else is off for the National League. So the Dodgers are going to be either 5 or 6 games ahead of Cincinnati after this one. Atlanta's dropped back to 7.5 off the base. There's a called strike on the inside corner to Darrell Thomas. In the American League, the Angels beat Cleveland tonight 7-2. Oakland lost its 5th in a row, 5-1 to Baltimore, so the Angels are suddenly only 5 games out of first place. Next pitch misses to Thomas for a ball, 1 ball and 1 strike. Marty Bystrom into the windup, and the 1-1 pitch to Darrell is tapped foul. Back of the plate, 1-2. Chicago beat Toronto tonight 7-2. Former Phillies slugger Greg Luzinski hit 2 home runs for the White Sox. Boston turned Seattle 8-5. And New York just nosed out Kansas City 2-1. Tommy John won his 5th with a save for Rich Gossage. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Thomas. Off speed and lifted along the left field line, foul. Back into the seats in the lower deck. Texas got 7 runs tonight at the 6th inning at Detroit. And the Rangers are leading the Tigers 11-5 as they go to the 9th inning. Minnesota and Milwaukee not scheduled, so you're up to date. Bystrom's pitch almost hit Thomas. Darrell had to go down on his right knee on a fastball lowered inside. 2-2. One hit for the Phillies, a homer by Schmidt. No runs, 2 hits for the Dodgers. We're in the bottom of the 3rd. 1 out, bases empty. Thomas just now getting set to face Bystrom. And here comes the 2-2 pitch. Bounce foul over to the Dodger dugout. On deck, Kenny Landreau. Tomorrow night, Bobby Welch and Dick Ruthven. Tomorrow night's game is a sellout. The 6th straight sellout at Dodger Stadium. However, some tickets still remain for Wednesday night's duel between Bert Hoops and Steve Carlton, both of whom are unbeaten this year. Bystrom's 2-2 pitch. Darrell 1 for 1 on the inside corner and strikes out. He couldn't hold up in time. So Bystrom registers his 3rd strikeout. Same number as Valenzuela. 2 out of the Dodgers' 3rd, and that'll bring on Ken Landreau. When the Dodgers beat Bystrom in Philadelphia and handed him his first Major League loss, it was Landreau who doubled off Bystrom in the 8th inning and scored the winning run on a single by Steve Garvey. Landreau grounded the single to right his first time up tonight. The first pitch is driven to right, another base hit for Landreau. So Landreau's got a lot of Bystrom. 2 games and he's had 4 hits off of him. Hit number 3 for the Dodgers tonight, a single per inning. Dusty Baker rolled one to second baseman Manny Trio his first time up, advancing Landreau to 3rd. So the Dodgers left Ken there. Baker doubled in a runoff Bystrom at Veterans Stadium in the 1st inning. The pitch to Dusty, blowing outside for a ball. Landreau takes a good lead off of first. Rose holds him on the right side of the infield open. And here goes Landreau. The pitch outside. The throw by Moreland. Too late. Ball gets away to shallow center field. And Landreau's going to 3rd. And he'll make it. Kenny Landreau steals his 7th base of the season. And when Keith Moreland's low throw bounced away in the center field, Landreau got up and went to 3rd. So an error will be charged to Keith Moreland. And now the tying run over at third base for the Dodgers here in the third inning. In one game earlier this year, Montreal stole 7 bases against the Phillies. Tim Raines had 4 in that one. Bystrom out of the windup. The pitch to Baker, a slider outside. Ball 3. 3-0 with Garvey on deck. Will they green light Baker 3-0? We'll know in a moment. Here's the pitch. He's taking and the breaking ball's in. 3-1. Great crowd on hand, but the Phillies know about crowds. They played before the largest crowd in the National League all this year, over 60,000 in Philadelphia. The pitch to Baker is a check swing foul off to the right of the plate. 3-2. So Bystrom came back with a breaking ball. Baker was going to pull the bat back, but it glanced off the wood, and so there's a full count to the Dodger left fielder. For the second time tonight, Landros at third with 2 out. Here's the payoff pitch to Dusty Baker. Inside, ball 4. Fastball just missing. And Bystrom walks his first man. Garvey hit one about 370 feet to right field, toward right center field his first time up. And Lonnie Smith was deep on the track when he caught it. Bystrom out of the stretch in the pitch to Garvey. Breaking ball, chased and missed. 0-1. Garvey sees a lot of sliders and curveballs in the course of the season. You better be careful and not miss with one, though. Now timeout for the moment. Bystrom shaking off Moreland's first time, and Garvey stepped out. Now Marty ready, and the 0-1 pitch to Garvey. Breaking ball is a high fly ball to center. It's playable. Gary Maddox is waiting in left center field and makes the catch. So the Dodgers get a hit and a walk. They leave 2. They've stranded 4. And at the end of 3, it's still the Phillies 1 and the Dodgers nothing.
Ladies and gentlemen, for some time now I've been suggesting that you remember a certain car dealer's name. And I want to see if that little test is working. When I say cars, who comes to mind? Roger Dean Chevrolet. How about when I say savings? Roger Dean Chevrolet. What about service and parts? Roger Dean Chevrolet. How about used cars? Roger Dean Chevrolet. How about trucks and high trade-ins? Roger Dean Chevrolet. How about great financing? Roger Dean Chevrolet. How about big selection? Roger Dean Chevrolet. Well, I see now that perhaps you folks were listening. What do you take us for, some dumb bully or something? We wouldn't forget a name like Roger Dean Chevrolet, Sonny. Are you crazy? Roger Dean Chevrolet. Okeechobee and Congress Boulevard in West Palm Beach. A name worth repeating. Go ahead. Repeat the name. Yes, repeat the name, Sonny. It's a name worth repeating. Roger Dean Chevrolet. A name worth remembering.
Just joined us tonight. Fernando Valenzuela has retired 9 of the 10 Phillies to face him. But Mike Schmidt came up with 2 out of the first inning. Valenzuela got ahead of the count, 2 strikes, and Schmidt then rocketed a fastball into the seats in right center field, and that home run has been the difference. The Dodgers have threatened, but they've been turned away by Marty Bystrom. So we're ready for the 4th inning. Phillies 1, Dodgers nothing, and for ball play, let's get back to Vince.
All right, Ross, it'll be Pete Rose, Mike Schmidt, and Keith Moreland for the second time around. Rose flied out to Kenny Landreau in right center field. So Pete is 0 for 1, batting .319. So Pete Rose, who first broke in way back in 1963. He's been playing in the big leagues almost as long as Fernando's been alive. And the fastball is outside, ball 1, 1-0. Rose needs 29 hits to catch Stan Musial. 29. Is the 1-0 pitch on the way. Screwball down and away. So he's behind the Rose. And Rose, after looking at the screwball, has Lanny Harris examine the ball and the umpire throws it out. Whereas Pete has been looking at a lot of pitches. And he can spot that scuffed up ball quickly. Time call for the moment. Valenzuela just about ready. Evidently Rose wasn't. Or there's something else that distracts plate umpire Lanny Harris. I'm not sure if it's a light or what it is. That's the 3rd time in 3 innings the plate umpire has had to stop play. Now the 2-0 pitch to Pete Rose. Screwball on the corner. Check swing for strike. And the count 2-1. 1-0 Philadelphia on one hit, but what a hit. The home run by Mike Schmidt. Rose waiting. Fernando's 2-1 pitch on the way. Fastball over. 2-2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rose waiting. Fernando checking with Scioscia. Now Fernando into the windup in the 2-2 pitch. Curveball just missed inside. Oh, did he break off a beauty? But it just missed the corner. And the count 3-2. Whew. You talk about a rainbow curve that had everything but the pot of gold. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Screwball hit up along third base. Say's going to let it hit. It will go foul. So Rose will come back and try it again. The ball just missed hitting the bag at third. Just missed as it veered off foul. So Pete, who was 40 years old in April, but plays like the 20-year-old that he is at heart, comes back up. 3-2 the count. So a full count to Pete Rose. 1-0 Philadelphia, top of the fourth. Fernando working from the third base side of the rubber. Feet together as he goes to the windup now. And the pitch, fastball foul back. And Rose was late on it. He wasn't looking for a fastball even though it was 3-2. And he just did get a piece of it. Pete in his crouch. Fernando into the windup. And the 3-2 fastball is low. Ball 4. Fernando kind of risked a fastball at the knees, but he walks Rose. And now here is Mike Schmidt. Schmidt hitting .288. Homered over the right field fence in the first inning. So Mike 1 for 1. Schmidt with a dozen home runs, 29 runs batted in. In the home run department, Say has 8, 4 behind Schmidt. The screwball is a little high. Ball 1, 1-0. Schmidt leads in slugging with Say back of him. Schmidt is second in runs scored. So he's having a big start. He is second in runs batted in. The 1-0 pitch, screwball for a strike in the count 1-1. 1-0 Philadelphia. We're in the fourth inning. Rose walks. Pete standing at first. Fernando checking. Rose short lead, and the pitch to Schmidt. Fastball inside at the ribs. Ball 2. 2-1. I think Mike was guessing he might get a screwball that time, so he almost walked into the fastball, trying to protect the outside part of the plate. 2-1. Fernando, left foot on the rubber, looks at Rose, comes back to the plate. Screwball, foul back. 2-2. Fernando Valenzuela. Learning to drive. Boy, is the world opening up to him. The usual day for Fernando. The Dodgers picked him up in a Brinks truck and brought him here. Mike Schmidt back up to the plate. 2-2 the count. Valenzuela set. Looks at Rose. The left-hander delivers inside with the fastball. He keeps trying to set Schmidt up with a screwball so that he can jam him with the fastball, but he's getting the fastball too far inside. Now remember, Mike hit a fastball for a home run. And here he is on a full count, 3-2. It was 1-2 when Mike homered. Fernando set, looks at Rose. Pete goes. Fastball is inside, so now he's in trouble. He has walked Rose and Schmidt, and with nobody out, Keith Moreland will pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
This is the old Gab Box, Gabby Bell. I report sports twice each hour, right here mornings on WJNO in West Palm Beach County's oldest and #1 radio station for news and sports.
Keith Moreland grounded to third in the first inning. A very good hitter, although you might not know too much about him. He's going to bunt in the air foul, and it will land untouched near the screen. 0-1. He's struggling at 220, but those who really know this game say that his mechanics as a hitter are excellent. He can't miss. Moreland waiting. Rose and Schmidt taking their leads. The Dodgers still looking bunt, but he's swinging. Line drive into left field for a base hit. They're going to rave Rose in. Here comes Baker's throw to Scotia. He will score. And the Phillies lead the Dodgers 2-0. So Moreland tried to bunt once and couldn't do it. Swings away and singles in the run. And the batter is Gary Matthews. So Fernando, who was down 1-0 to Montreal, and then finally was even and got ahead 2-1, only to have it tied and still won. Now is down by 2. Still nobody out, and Gary Matthews the batter. Fernando ready, and the pitch to Matthews low and inside, ball 1. So Fernando suddenly struggling with his control. Fernando has struck out 3, but he has walked 2 here in the 4th inning, and it has cost him. Matthews struck out in the 2nd inning. Valenzuela ready and comes back with a pitch that's swung on and missed 1-1. 2 runs, 2 hits for the Phillies. No runs, 3 hits for the Dodgers. For Fernando, of course, he's really in a tub of acid now, getting the test first against Philadelphia, next time out against Cincinnati, in Cincinnati. The 1-1 pitch is high with a fastball, and Matthews around as if the bunt, ball 2, 2-1. Pete Rose scoring on the base hit by Keith Moreland. Mike Schmidt at second and Moreland at first. Nobody out. The 2-1 pitch to Gary Matthews. Screwball bunted foul off to the right of the plate. The count 2-2. On deck, Gary Maddox. To repeat, the Phillies are 6-1 against left-handers. The only left-hander to beat them, Jerry Royce did it, 2-1. So they're up. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Gary Matthews. Here comes Fernando, and it's fouled away. On the Dodgers bat in the bottom of the 4th inning, they'll have Ron Say, Pedro Guerrero, and then Mike Scioscia. Tomorrow night, Bob Welch and Dick Ruthven. And then Wednesday night, Bert Hooton and Steve Carlin. Fernando at the belt. A check and the 2-2 pitch. Gary takes outside. Ball 3. So this has been a very tough inning. He went 3-2 to Rose and walked him. He went 3-2 to Schmidt and walked him. With a strike on Moreland, he gave up a base hit, and now he's 3-2 to Matthews. And of course, the first decision is to be made by Dallas Green. Will he have his men going? Matthews, a strikeout victim in the 2nd inning, and Fernando trying to get out of a tough spot. Checks the runners. The runners go. The screwball is hit into the hole, into left field for a base hit. Here comes Schmidt to score. Over to third goes Moreland, and the Phillies are leading 3-0. So Fernando is not that sharp. He is going to too many 3-ball counts, and he is paying for it. Philadelphia, and Gary Maddox coming up. Maddox popped up in the 2nd inning. And Tommy Lasorda going out to the mound to talk to Fernando. And Dave Stewart gets up in the Dodger bullpen. He hasn't thrown yet. He is just now reaching the rubber in the bullpen. So Tommy Lasorda talking to Fernando Valenzuela and Mike Scioscia. The Phillies with a run in the 1st inning. Mike Schmidt hit a home run. Fernando had retired the first 2 batters. He retired the next 7 batters after the home run. But here in the 4th inning, pitching very carefully to the heart of the Philadelphia lineup, he's been unable to get anybody out. With 2 walks and 2 singles for 2 runs. Gary Maddox popped up to Gerald Thomas in the 2nd inning. Gary 0 for 1. Valenzuela out of a stretch, a check of the runners, and Fernando delivers. Fastball and a fly ball into left center. Tagging up is Moreland, and it's pretty far for Landry. He doesn't have a chance to get Moreland, so he throws into Gerald Thomas. Holding at first base is Gary Matthews. It is 4-0 Philadelphia. And a 3-run 4th inning with a scoring fly ball for Gary Maddox. So Manny Trio Hill coming up. He hit a soft line drive at Valenzuela in the second inning. So with one out in the fourth, the Philadelphia Phillies, the world champion Philadelphia Phillies, leading Fernando Valenzuela 4-0. Matthews standing at first, held on by Garvey, and the fastball very high and outside. Ball one, Socia having to come up out of a crouch. Valenzuela is due to bat fifth when the Dodgers hit in the bottom of the fourth inning. 1-0 the count. There goes the runner, and the pitch is pulled foul off to the right in the lower deck. Final score in the American League, Texas with a 7-run sixth inning went on to polish off Detroit 13-5. Matlack the winner, Petrie the loser. 1-1 to Manny Trio. Larry Boa on deck. Fernando set, looking over at Matthews, back to the plate, and that's fouled away. 2-1-2. What has hurt Fernando in the fourth inning, the thing that has been a mainstay for him throughout the year, is control. Tonight it's lack of it. Walking Rose and Schmidt, giving up singles to Moreland and Matthews and a scoring fly ball to Maddox. 1-2 to count to Manny Trio. Fernando, another look over at first. The left-hander comes back, 1-2, very high and outside. Looked like he tried maybe to throw a curveball. Had a little hump in it, but not much. 2-2. Fernando struggling tonight. The left-hander ready on the 2-2 pitch. Matthews goes way outside. Socia to Tyler. They got him. A perfect throw by Mike Socia. But again, you have a 3-2 count. So this is the fourth 3-2 count in the inning. And that's not Valenzuela's style. Of course, he had that raggedy 3 innings against the New York Mets in New York. 3-2 pitch is swung on and missed strike 3, but the damage has been done. 3 runs, 2 hits, and at the end of 3.5 innings, Philadelphia 4, Dodgers nothing.
What's the 4 o'clock movie for comedy in the air?
Here's Fred with an update on what we can expect into it.
Short people are the last ones to find out when it's raining.
Business and the news media.
236.
What we are as a people depends on our ideals and our ideas. The media play a vital role in what we are. They provide our forum for ideas, our entertainment bazaar. They are our theater, our concert hall, our news source. We demand a lot from the media, but they are only as good as we are, as the choices we make when we tune in a channel, when we purchase a product, when we cheer on a station for its outstanding work, or challenge a station when it falls short. What we are as individuals and as a people depends in part on the media we keep. Make your choices count. What we are depends on it. A message from the Catholic Communication Campaign, United States Catholic Conference.
Fourth inning, Philadelphia leading the Dodgers 4-0, and once again Diamond Vision is coming to the rescue. The crowd a little bit down right now with the Phillies leading 4-0, so they're watching Diamond Vision in some rather comical plays and misplays in big league games. 4 runs, 3 hits, and an error for Philadelphia. With no runs, 3 hits, and no errors for the Dodgers. Marty Bystrom, who is quite a young pitcher at any time, is particularly tough now, leading 4-0. And the batter will be Ron Say. But Bystrom and Say and the rest of them looking at a repeat of a swing where the batter goes all the way around and winds up falling on his hands and knees outside the batter's box and striking out as well. And a round of applause. Diamond Vision has won another one. John Kibler, a little late getting back to his spot on the third base foul line. Say came up in the second inning and hit a towering fly ball to center. He'd had a chance to go out, and it would have gone out, except for a leaping catch by Gary Maddox. The round 0 for 1, batting .305. Bystrom has allowed 3 hits. The left-hand batters have the hit. And Say pops it up into shallow left center. Out goes Boa. Maddox is calling, and Gary makes the catch for the out. So Say a fly ball. One away. Pedro Guerrero coming up.
Right field.
Guerrero struck out in the second inning. He's with a 4-game hitting streak. Keith Moreland out to the mound and thought to bice them. Phillies had Schmidt homer in the first, and then 2 walks, 2 singles, and a scoring fly ball. Gave Philadelphia 3 more. The Dodgers and Phils split their 12 meetings last year, each winning 3 of 6 here and there. Guerrero takes high ball 1. So the first trip, the Dodgers won 2 out of 3 in Philadelphia, and now Philadelphia trying to come back and return the favor. The 1-0 pitch. Guerrero takes a strike, 1-1. It's Welch and Ruthven tomorrow night. Bruton and Carlton Wednesday night. That'll be the finale of what has been a magnificent homestand. The 1-1 pitch. Down and away, backhanded by Moreland, ball 2, 2-1. Dodgers coming into this game having won 7 straight and all 6 on the homestand. The 2-1 pitch to Pedro Guerrero is rolled foul down towards Danny Ozark, the former manager of the Phils, and the count 2-2. Mike Scioscia on deck. The Dodger hit Scioscia singles and Landreau 2 singles. Byston has been very tough on the right-hand batters. The 2-2 pitch. Guerrero swings and misses, strikes out for the second time. That's 4 strikeouts for Marty Byston. And Mike Scioscia coming out. Scioscia with a base hit in the second inning, hitting .274. Byston into the windup. Marty ready, and the fastball at the knees for a strike, 0-1. Philadelphia trying to catch the Cardinals. They started the game 1 behind St. Louis tonight. Montreal trailing by 3.5. The strike 1 pitch, Scioscia takes the strike in the count 0-2. Of course, Montreal is still reeling from the 3-game series here that opened up this homestand. 0-2 to Scioscia. Byston ready. Young Marty back, and there's a ground ball wide at first, backhanded by Rose, underhands to Byston coming over. So there's a young pitcher having a big time tonight, but it is not Valenzuela. It's a young man by the name of Marty Byston. And at the end of 4, Philadelphia 4, and the Dodgers nothing.
Pardon me, you wouldn't happen to have a pair of glasses that needs polishing, would you?
A pair of glasses?
See, I suddenly have this urge for a cigarette.
I see. Well, what does polishing glasses have to do with your sudden urge for a cigarette?
Well, I do that instead of smoking.
You polish glasses?
But sometimes I take a shower.
Here, take the glasses.
Oh, thanks.
That replace your craving for a cigarette, does it?
Well, that's one of the things. Like I said, sometimes I take a shower, sometimes I exercise, go for a walk.
Listen, where'd you learn all this anyway?
From the American Lung Association.
The American Lung Association?
They have this new program, see, called Freedom from Smoking.
Freedom from smoking?
To kick the habit in just 20 days.
20 days?
On your own.
Hey, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, tell me, do you find it's helped you?
Well, you don't see me smoking, do you?
No.
I mean, I really wanted a cigarette, but I didn't give in, did I?
No, you sure didn't.
Now, if I can just get rid of this urge to polish glasses. Yeah, right. You wouldn't happen to have another pair on you, would you? The sunglasses, swim goggles?
If you really want to kick the habit, but need help doing it, contact your local American Lung Association for information on their Freedom from Smoking program. As always, it's a matter of life and breath.
In the 5th inning, it is hard to believe there's a sellout crowd here. The mood is somewhat down, with Philadelphia leading the Dodgers 4-0. But after all, it's the big leagues, and the Dodgers battling the world champion. And Fernando Valenzuela will be pitching now to Larry Boa, followed by Marty Bystrom and then Lonnie Smith. 4 runs, 3 hits for Philadelphia. No runs, 3 hits for the Dodgers. Fernando has struck out 4. But he walked 2 back-to-back in the 4th inning. And now here's Boa. Boa grounded to third in the 3rd. All right, the switch-hitting shortstop climbs in, hitting right-handed. And Valenzuela's fastball over for a strike. Boa faking a bunt. He had Ron Say on the move, and the count 0-1. The outfield playing towards right for Boa. The strike 1 curveball is hit to third, speared by Say, and that'll do it for Boa. 1 away. That'll bring up the pitcher, Marty Bystrom, and he has been that and then some. Marty in his last outing, lost to the Giants at Candlestick. He only lasted 3 innings. So he is a fine young pitcher in his own right. Imagine last year without much fanfare. He was 5-0, and every game he started, Philadelphia won, including a championship game with Houston and a World Series game with Kansas City. Swung on and missed. It's a true ball in the count 0-1. Fernando looks down. Scioscia setting a target. The strike one pitch on the way. Fernando's breaking ball is over. Strike 2. 0-2. Valenzuela works quickly, comes right back, 0-2. Fast one, swung on and missed, and down goes Bison. So even on a rough night, although it's only been rough for 1 inning, Fernando has struck out 5 in 5 innings. And with 2 outs, the batter is Lonnie Smith, who grounded out and struck out. Lonnie had an outstanding year last year, but when they made the deal for Gary Matthews, despite hitting .330, he had lost the job. Fernando delivers very high, ball 1. Then when Bake McBride's knees flared up, and of course playing on AstroTurf, if you have any kind of a leg problem, you're in a lot of trouble. McBride's had to sit down. There's a one-hopper and a diving stop by Shea, who throws him out. And leading the applause for Ron Shea on that great stop and throw, this is Valenzuela, Fernando's mom. And at the end of 4.5 innings, Phillies 4, Dodgers nothing.
Tire Kingdom announces a one-time only sale on Michelin Millimetric radial tires. 11 tire sizes are on sale, and that covers virtually 85% of all domestic passenger cars. The sale includes domestics, imports, high-performance truck and RV Michelin tires. A 185/14 is just $46.95 plus tax, and there's no mounting charge with standard rims. Low prices and good service have made the Tire Kingdom one of the fastest-growing Michelin tire dealers in the country. Remember, it's Tire Kingdom's one-time only sale on Michelin Millimetric radial tires. Replace your worn-out tires now with top-quality Michelin Millimetric radials, now at unbeatable savings. Tire Kingdom for expert tire service and utmost satisfaction. Tire Kingdom in Stewart, Lake Park, West Palm Beach, Delray Beach, and Fort Lauderdale. It's Tire Kingdom's Michelin Millimetric radial tire sale. Don't miss it.
The Dodgers' next weekend series at Dodger Stadium will find the Cincinnati Reds in town. It all starts just a week from this Friday night as the Reds visit Dodger Stadium for the first time, May 29th, 30th, and 31st. General admission tickets for all 3 games are now on sale at the Dodgers Advanced Ticket Office, 1750 Stadium Way, adjacent to the Naval Armory. It's open from 8:30 a.m. until 5:30 p.m. every day this week.
As we go to the bottom of the 5th inning, Philadelphia leading 4-0, we always try to anticipate your question. And the answer would be, it looks like Valenzuela will bat for himself. Russell hits it off the leg of Bison, deflected to Mike Smith, who picks it up and throws him out. So Russell would have a base hit, except it hit Bison. And Marty walking it off behind the mound. And Fernando Valenzuela coming up. 1-5-3 if you're scoring. Valenzuela grounded out in the 3rd inning, rolling one to Pete Rose. He's hitting .346. The only hits off Monty Bystrom. Left-handed batters, Kenny Landreau is 2 for 2. Mike Scioscia is 1 for 2. Bystrom into the windup, and the pitch to Fernando. Off speed and slow ground ball to Manny Trio. Trio picks it up, and that'll do it for Fernando. So Bystrom has allowed 3 harmless hits. The Dodgers, however, have gotten Landreau to 3rd twice, but they've been unable to pick him up. And Darrell Thomas coming up with 2 down in the 5th inning. It's a tribute to Valenzuela that Bystrom started him with a changeup. If there's an expression in baseball that holds true over the years, you never change up on a pitcher unless he's a good hitting pitcher. So evidently Philadelphia believes what the reports say about Valenzuela, and the first pitch was a changeup. Darrell Thomas, the batter, and Darrell Thomas has fried to left and struck out. And the first pitch to Darrell hitting left-handed in there for a strike, 0-1. count. Bystrom into the windup. Darrell waiting, and there's strike one pitch on the way. He runs up and has a look, and the pitch is low. 1 ball, 1 strike. 4-0. The Phillies had Mike Schmidt homer in the first. Valenzuela then uncharacteristically was wild in the 4th inning. Darrell takes the next one low. Valenzuela walked Rose and Schmidt, albeit out 3-2 pitches each time, and then gave up singles to Moreland and Matthews and a scoring fly ball by Maddox. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Darrell Thomas. Bystrom delivers, and it's popped up on the right side. Rose says he'll take care of it. So the Phils back off, and the first baseman handles it, and the Dodgers don't hit the ball out of the infield. And at the end of 5, Phillies 4, Dodgers nothing.
In poverty-stricken areas of the world today, there is a sea of human need. Millions of needy families are unable to feed their malnourished.
To the 6th inning, with Philadelphia leading the Dodgers 4-0. 4 runs, 3 hits, 1 error for the Bills. No runs, 3 hits, and no errors for the Dodgers. For Philadelphia, Rose, Schmidt, and Moreland. And when the Dodgers come up, Landreau, Baker, and Darby. Pete Rose flied to center and walked on a 3-2 pitch, and there was the beginning of a 3-run inning in the 4th. Pete waiting. And Fernando checking with Mike Socha. Now Valenzuela ready, delivers, and the pitch hit trifle high. Ball 1. 1-0 to Pete. Now Valenzuela comes back to him 1-0. Fastball at the knees for a strike, 1-1. In the 4th inning on a 2-2 count, Fernando threw a curveball. Rose looked at it. It just missed for ball 3, and then he went on the walk. For a 1-1 pitch. Fastball. On and miss, 1-2. 4-0 Philadelphia, top of the 6th inning. First game of the 3-game series with the world champion Phils. Fernando into the windup, and the 1-2 pitch. The high chopper to short. Russell waits for the hop, then sets and throws him out. Once again, Mike Schmidt going head-to-head with Fernando Valenzuela. Remember, in the first inning, with the count 1-2, Mike Schmidt went out after a fastball and hit it over the right field fence for a home run. In the 4th inning, Fernando kept setting him up with screwballs and then trying to come inside and getting the inside corner with a fastball. He missed and walked him. Fernando ready to the plate, and the screwball is strike. 0-1. Mike with a dozen home runs. He's missed a sock in the National League. On deck, catcher Keith Moreland. Fernando nods yes to Mike Socha. The strike 1 pitch, screwball, an off-speed screwball, but he missed with it, and the count 1-1. Mike waiting for 1-1 pitch to Schmidt. Fastball. He didn't get around on it. Fouled it back to the screen, and the count 1-2. That's what that screwball does. It makes that fastball appear to be so much faster. 1-2 to Mike Schmidt. Valenzuela staring down the barrel. Socha blinking signs out, and the 1-2 pitch, fastball, and a bouncer to say. Ron is up with it and throws him out. So with 2 out in the 6th inning, Keith Moreland is coming up. Grounded to third and single to left. 1 for 2. Moreland hitting .238. Tomorrow night, Bob Welch 2-1 against Dick Ruthven 5-1. And then Wednesday night should be quite a confrontation. Moreland lifts a fly ball down the right field line. A trio of Dodgers. It's Guerrero. Wednesday night, Bert Hooton 6-0. Against Steve Carlton, 7-0. 0 for Philadelphia in the 6th, and at the end of 5.5, Phillies 4, Dodgers nothing. Bottom of the 6th inning, Philadelphia leading the Dodgers 4-0. Let's pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
WJNO, West Palm Beach. John Clark Wheeler here. Here, my news reports mornings along with John Picano, Gabby Bell, and Paul Hardy News. Mornings on WJNO News Radio.
With Philadelphia leading 4-0, the Dodgers had not really done very much. Landreau, on a base hit, eventually got the third in the first inning, did the same thing in the third, but they left him. And outside of that little flurry, you can only add a single by Mike Socha. So Landreau, 2 for 2, will start it off. So Landreau, against Marty Bystrom, is 4 for 4 this year. And he's hitting .301. So Landreau, Baker, Garvey, and the crowd trying to make some noise now as Bystrom delivers. Slow curve, over for a strike, 0-1. The crowd has really been turned off. The enthusiasm left in the top of the 4th inning. The Dodgers have not been able to get it back yet. The strike 1 pitch. Fastball high and inside, 1-1 to Kenny. Landreau leading off matters here in the 6th inning. Now the 1-1 pitch. Kenny takes high and outside, ball 2, 2-1. Outside, ball 3. Landreau, with his 4 hits, is not only 4 for 4 against Bystrom, he has also walked twice. So he's had a perfect 6 at-bats against the right-hander. The 3-1 pitch is popped up in foul ground, and Mike Schmidt has the play. So Bystrom's going to get him for the first time this year. So Landreau fouls out, 1 down, and Dusty Baker coming up. Baker grounded out in the first inning. He just hit a little roller down to Manny Trio with Landreau at second. And last time up he walked. So Marty Bystrom pitching an outstanding ball game, and he has 1 out in the 6th inning, and he has the Dodgers thoroughly shut out. The right-hander delivers, and Dusty takes low. Ball 1, 1-0. For the Dodgers, they have been shut out once. That was in Houston. Bob Knepper did it 1-0. The Dodgers staff has 8 shutouts. The 1-0 pitch is a little high, ball 2. So Bystrom behind 3-1 to Landreau, but got him. Now comes right back behind to Baker, 2-0. Steve Garvey on deck. Bystrom into the windup. Now the 2-0 pitch on the way, and that's outside. So another 3-ball count. Bystrom has walked only 1. While striking out 4. The 3-0 pitch is in there. 3-1 to Dusty Baker. Bystrom into the windup, and the 3-1 pitch. Dusty swings a fly ball to Gary Maddox. He'll put that in the ball bag. 2 out. So Bystrom making it look easy now. He's retired 9 in a row since the walk to Baker, and the batter is Steve Garvey. And if anything, Bystrom is pitching much better than he was in the first couple of innings. And now he has more runs to lean on. It's 4-0 Philadelphia in the 6th with 2 out. Bystrom looks down to get a sign. Garvey waiting. And the pitch to Steve way outside, ball 1. So he's starting off behind on each of the 3 hitters here in the 6th inning. But it hasn't bothered him any. 1 ball and no strikes. Garvey in and out of the box. Now Steve back up to the plate. Bystrom, an imposing young man at 6'5" out there. The 1-0 pitch. Garvey hammers it to center, right over the head of second base umpire Bruce Fromming, and into center field. So the right-handers finally get in the act, and that'll bring up Ron Say. And of course, the crowd wants Say to cut Philadelphia's lead in half. Hit 2 fly balls to Gary Maddox. One of them would have been a home run. Maddox making a fine leaping catch. Just another moment in a career that has paid off with a Gold Glove in center field for Gary. So here's Say for his 3rd at-bat. Bystrom off the rubber and a backward glance to see what Garvey's up to. 2 out in the 6th inning. Phillies 4 runs, 3 hits. The Dodgers no runs, 4 hits. Say batting .303. Bystrom, a look at Garvey, and to the plate. Slow curve outside. He's been behind on all four hitters here in the sixth inning. Behind 3-0 to Landreau, and he finally got him. Behind to Baker, 3-0, and he got him. And then Garvey on a 1-ball and no strike count single. The 1-0 pitch. Say out in front of the breaking ball, and the count 1-1. So Bystrom using his fastball judiciously. He's not just out there throwing. It's a little of this, a little of that. And he has 2 out in the sixth inning. Philadelphia 4, Dodgers nothing. Rose holding a corner on Garvey. Bystrom ready in the 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball down and away. Ball 2. There's one breaking ball after another. 2-1 to say. On deck, Pedro Guerrero, who has struck out twice. So Bystrom has really given him a bad time. Marty set. The 2-1 pitch to say. Fastball missed. So he's behind 3-1. In the Dodger bullpen for the second time tonight, Dave Stewart begins to loosen up. 3-1 to Ron Say. Now Bystrom ready. The 3-1 pitch way outside. Ball 4. So the Dodgers with 2 out have 2 on, and here's Guerrero. Pedro Guerrero struck out in the second inning, struck out in the fourth, came into the game hitting .287. Speed with 7 home runs, 15 runs batted in, and Ron Reed gets up now quickly in the Philadelphia bullpen because Bystrom is pitching backwards here in the sixth. The right-hander ready, and the pitch to Guerrero. Breaking ball fouled away. That's the first time he's been ahead of the hitter in the inning. 0-1 to Pedro Guerrero. Garvey at second, Say at first. 2 out in the sixth. Philadelphia 4, and the Dodgers nothing. Bystrom reading Moreland. Now the strike 1 pitch is taken for a strike. And for Guerrero, that must be an awful feeling. Here, the pitcher has struck you out twice, and you come up for the third at bat, and before you can blink, you have 2 strikes on you. So he's at Bystrom's mercy for the moment. 0-2. Marty looking in, Guerrero waiting, and Bystrom on and off the rubber, now on, so Guerrero backs out. And Guerrero's not ready just as Bystrom is about to deliver. So there's a lot of moving around in the moment. For the Dodgers, getting 2 men on. They had 2 men on in the third inning. And now they have 2 men on in the sixth. So they have not been able to do anything with Bystrom. The strike 2 pitch is high. A fastball around the eyes. 1-2. Capacity crowd at Dodger Stadium. And it's been all Philadelphia up to here. The 1-2 pitch. Bystrom delivers a ground ball hit slowly to Schmidt. He'll step on the bag ahead of Garvey's arrival, and that's it. So Marty Bystrom doing an excellent job of stifling the Dodgers, who have a base hit and a walk and leave 2, and at the end of 6, Philadelphia 4, and the Dodgers nothing.
Welcome to Meet the Media. Thank you very much. Today I am interviewing radio,
Hello.
television.
Take a look at this.
Oh, newspaper.
I've been around the longest. Yeah, but you can't change channels on a newspaper. Well, you can't put a TV in the bottom of a birdcage.
Interesting debate. Radio. How's your listenership?
It's up 66% since 1967.
Newspaper?
Yes.
How's your circulation?
It's,
Right.
But I'm happy to say our advertising rates have gone up.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Radio?
Because the cost of radio advertising has not increased as much as the other major media, it's a better deal.
And what about the cost of television?
Film at 11.
Radio in Japan. What about creativity?
Well, there are 4 of us sitting in a room pretending to be a radio, a television, a newspaper, and a human being.
That's amusing.
Just an example of radio's creativity.
Radio. Red hot. Because it works. For the advertiser trying to fight the rising costs of TV and print. The Radio Advertising Bureau can send you more facts. This station can send you more customers.
I'm Phil Donahue. As you know, I like to talk to people. What would appear to be his last inning tonight. He's due to bat third in the bottom of the 7th. Let's check the scores. Montreal, San Diego, scoreless at the end of 7. Sanderson and Welch. The Giants leading the Mets 1-0 at the end of 5. The Mets have lost 7 straight. That's Lynch and Ripley. Those are the only other National League games. California 7, Cleveland 2, Chicago 7, Toronto 2, Boston 8, Seattle 5, Baltimore 5, Oakland 1. So Baltimore has won 6 straight, and Oakland has lost 5 straight. The Yankees 2, Kansas City 1, Texas 13, and Detroit 5. Minnesota and Milwaukee not scheduled. Remember, tomorrow night, Bob Welch and Dick Ruthven. Wednesday night, Bert Hooton and Steve Carlin. Let's go to the 7th. Phillies 4, Dodgers nothing. More play, here's Ross.
Okay, then, Gary Matthews singled in one of the Phillies' 3 runs in the 4th inning. He struck out his first time up tonight. 4 hits for the Dodgers, 3 hits for the Phillies. But they combined 2 of those hits with 2 walks and a sacrifice fly to produce 3 runs in the 4th and move out to a 4-run lead. The first one to Matthews is a fastball in the outside corner for a strike. Many people are already talking about Fernando Valenzuela as a possible National League Rookie of the Year winner. Gary Matthews won that honor 8 years ago. He'd like to take 1 for strike 2, and it's 0-2. Phillies, the best hitting ball club in the National League. Matthews one of several above the 300 mark. And the 2-strike pitch is taken low for a ball, 1-2. Pete Rose, Gary Matthews, Gary Maddox, and Manny Trio, all 300 or above in the Philly lineup tonight. Here's Valenzuela's 1-2 pitch. Through ball ground to the left side. Off a Say's glove to Russell, who has no play. So Matthews with a sharp ground ball. Say had hit his glove and kick off. And Russell had no play. No scoring as yet on the play. He'll give Say an error. Gary Maddox tonight has popped up and then lifted a sacrifice fly in his 4th inning flurry. Screw ball driven foul down the left field side, carrying to the second deck. Strangely enough, in this ballgame, the Phillies had yet to leave a man on base. Schmidt homered for the run in the first, and the Phillies cashed everybody in the 4th. Matthews was thrown out trying to steal in that inning. The next one, Matthews at first base. And Maddox tried to hold up and couldn't do so. The pitch is called strike 2, 0-2. The Dodgers have left 6 men on base. And it's 4-0 Philadelphia in the 7th. Fernando's pitch hit foul off to the right. Valenzuela with 5 strikeouts. He's walked 2. Marty Bystrom has struck out 4. He has walked 2. In the Dodger bullpen, Rick Sutcliffe begins to throw. The 2-strike pitch is a bouncer to Say. Give it down to Thomas for 1. Back to Garvey on a bounce. Too late. So Gary Matthews rode Darrell Thomas out of the play just enough to break up the DP. The throw back to Garvey was in the dirt on a bounce, and that allowed Maddox to scamper across the bag safely. 1 on, 1 out, and Manny Trio comes up for the 3rd time. Trio hit a soft line drive back to Valenzuela on a check swing in the 2nd inning. And then fans are swinging in the 4th inning. Mike Brito, the Dodgers scout who signed Valenzuela, was just pointing out something to us between innings. Go to first, and back is Maddox. Mike said Fernando told him this morning he was a little weak, and so he rested a little more than usual. Fernando reported today he was a bit congested. Pitch out, nothing going for the Phillies. 1-0. Hard to be 100% physically and mentally ready for every game you play in a major league. And Bystrom has picked the wheel of the game tonight for Philadelphia. Another throw to first, and back easily is Maddox. When the Dodgers come up in the 7th, they're due to send up Socia, Russell, and then a probable hitter for Valenzuela. The 1-0 pitch is popped up over near the Philadelphia dugout. Garvey comes over to take a look, and it's back behind the photo well in the 3rd row. You also wonder what kind of a factor Valenzuela's parents being here tonight would have on the youngster. After all, he's only 20 years old. There's got to be a thrill for him to look upstairs and see his mother and his dad and his sister all watching tonight. Watching him in a National League game for the first time ever. Another pitch out, called for by Socia, but Maddox was going nowhere. 2-1. In the middle innings here tonight at Dodger Stadium, it was almost as if he were awake. It was so quiet. Screwball high and away. Ball 3-1 to Trio with Boa on deck. Phillies 4, Dodgers nothing. We're in the 7th inning. Let's see if Maddox will go in 3-1. Valenzuela goes over to Garvey, and Gary back on the bag. Valenzuela at the belt, and the runner goes. The pitch is lifted down the right field line, curving foul. Guerrero racing over, but the ball is back in the lower deck. So Maddox will go back to first, and we'll have a full count pitch to Trio. Tonight's paid attendance to Dodger Stadium, 52,439, with 55,091 in the ballpark. The Dodgers' 5th consecutive sellout, and they'll make it 6 tomorrow night when Welch takes on Ruthven. Wednesday night's game, not quite a sellout. That'll be Bert Hooton against Steve Carlton. All right, Valenzuela's 3-2 pitch with a runner going. A ground ball to Valenzuela. He looks a second. He can't get the ball in his glove, and he throws wide, and everybody's safe at first base. A hard smash by Trio, and Valenzuela caught it in the webbing, whirled as if to throw to second, and kept trying to pull the ball out, and he couldn't get the ball out of his glove. And finally he turned and belatedly threw to Garvey and pulled him off the bag. So Valenzuela is charged with the Dodgers' 2nd error of the inning. So Maddox is the runner at second. Trio aboard on the air at first. Still only one out, and Larry Boa coming up. So she went out to talk to Valenzuela. And Fernando said, I knew where I was, I just couldn't get it out. The pitch to Boa is hit twice, it looked like. Boa fouls it off to the left toward the Dodger dugout. Looked like he came around and the bat hit it again on the way past him. So it's 0-1 to Boa, who's bounced out twice tonight to say. Now time called just before Valenzuela released the ball. Here in the inning, Matthews safe on saves there at third. Maddox forced him. And now Trio aboard on the air by Valenzuela. This is the 8th time this year the Dodgers have drawn 50,000 or more paid customers to Dodger Stadium. Screwball and a good one for a called strike to Larry Boa, 0-2. 3 other times this year the Dodgers have gone 49,000 or above. The Dodgers are in only their 17th home game of the year. All right, Valenzuela checks the runners, and the 0-2 pitch to Boa. Fastball running away, ball 1. 1-2. The Dodgers have been out of only one game all year, 1 out of 35. That was the night Al Ripley of the Giants shut them out until the 9th. He finished with a 3-hitter and beat them 6-1. The runners are going, and the pitch is grounded foul past third. So Dallas Green had Gary Maddox and Manny Trio on the move. And Boa couldn't do anything with the screwball and bounced it foul outside of third. 1-2. On deck, Marty Bystrom. The Reds are not playing, so the Dodgers are going to be either 5 or 6 games ahead in the West after tonight. Cincinnati will open a 3-game series at Wrigley Field in Chicago tomorrow against the Cubs. Valenzuela's pitch is driven in the air to left. Baker coming up and makes the catch. 2 out. And Marty Bystrom, who has fanned twice tonight, will try to help himself here in the 7th inning. Bystrom came into the game with an earned run average of over 4. As we told you, the Giants chased him in his last start. He allowed 5 runs in 3 innings at Candlestick. But tonight, he has blanked the Dodgers on 4 hits for 6. Marty swings and misses at a breaking ball, strike 1. If indeed the Dodgers do hit for Valenzuela in the bottom of the 7th, it'll be the first time this year Fernando has not gone 9 innings. Here's a 1-strike pitch. Screwball, that's high. 1-1 to Bystrom. The Phillies got a run in the first. Mike Schmidt homered to right center field. They had a 3 in the 4th. Walks to Rose and Schmidt, both on 3-2 pitches. Moreland and Matthews at RBI singles, and Maddox a sacrifice fly. Bystrom chips one foul, and it's 1-2. Maddox and Trio take their leads, and the 1-2 pitch to Bystrom is a fastball high and away, 2-2. Valenzuela threw a sharp-breaking curveball to Rose on a 2-2 pitch in that fourth inning. Lonnie Harris called it a ball, and then Rose walked to get things started. The next one is swung on and missed by Bystrom. Valenzuela's got his sixth strikeout, but apparently he's going to go out losing. No runs, no hits, 2 errors, and 2 left. The first 2 base runners left tonight by Philadelphia. At the end of 6.5 innings, Phillies 4, Dodgers nothing.
Yes, Murphy. It isn't fair. There isn't a day that goes by that I'm not acutely aware of the fact that I don't have my wife. When you go to bed at night, you're alone. And you wake up in the morning, and you're alone again. That's the roughest part of the whole thing. It just isn't fair. In the beginning, it's important to suffer and just let the grief come out. But after a while, you've got to put the grief aside. You can't make it a life of grief. You've got to recover. You've got to overcome.
It isn't fair. It's life. And sometimes it hurts. But it's not what life does to you. It's what you do with life. From the Mormons, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Over 55,000 fans standing at Dodger Stadium tonight. 52,439 of them paid. We'll have another sellout tomorrow night. So unless you have a ticket, don't come by and see us, but join us at 7:15 for the broadcast. It'll be Bob Welch pitching for the Dodgers tomorrow night and Dick Ruthman for Philadelphia. And then Wednesday night, the battle of the unbeaten. Steve Carlton, 7-0 for the Phillies. Vernon, 6-0 going for the Dodgers. Reserved and general admission seats are still on sale for the final game of the homestand. Dodgers will fly to Cincinnati on Thursday and open an 8-game road trip Friday night at Riverfront against the Reds. Friday night, Jerry Royce will take on Mike Lacoste. Saturday afternoon, it'll be Fernando Valenzuela against Mario Soto. And then Sunday afternoon, a doubleheader. Bob Welch will go in 1 game, and Tom Seaver will pitch one of those for the Reds. But neither manager ready to declare the second game pitchers on Sunday. And the Dodgers close out the trip with 4 games in Atlanta, beginning next Monday night. Mike Socia leads off against Marty Bystrom in the Dodgers' 7th inning, 4-0 Phillies. And the first pitch floats outside to Mike for a ball. And now catcher Keith Mullen asks for time and trots out to talk to Bystrom. In the Dodger bullpen, right-hander Dave Stewart and left-hander Steve Howe are throwing. Bill Russell will be on deck. And then we expect to see a pinch hitter for Valenzuela. Socia has one of the Dodgers' 4 hits tonight, and Mike takes a high strike, and it's 1-1. Socia flared has been going to left center field in the second inning. The last time up in the fourth, he bounced one to Rose. Here's Bystrom's 1-1 pitch. That's outside. Ball 2. 2-1. The Dodgers handed Bystrom his first Major League loss in Philadelphia 11 nights ago. The Phillies trying to pin Valenzuela with his initial defeat tonight here in Los Angeles. Turnabout's fair play. There's a fly ball to right. Lonnie Smith will get it. And makes the catch to retire Socia. 1 out. Here's Bill Russell. Russell has struck out and bounced out. Rick Monday's got a bat in his hand in the Dodger dugout. And it looks like Mo will come up and hit for Valenzuela. Bystrom's first one to Russell is a curveball high and inside, ball 1. Davey Love's not playing tonight. In fact, he may not play in the entire series against the Phillies because of that injured ankle. 1-0 pitch to Russell. He's taking it. It's in there for a strike. 1-1. Monday comes after the on-deck circle. Bystrom winds, and here's the 1-1 pitch to Russell. Breaking ball grounded foul outside of third. 1-2. So Fernando Valenzuela allowed only 3 hits tonight to the reigning world champions, the Philadelphia Phillies, over 7 innings. but the only 2 walks they issued helped put him in a hole. He's fanned 6 tonight. Here's a 1-2 pitch to Bill Russell. Lifted foul along the left field line, carrying back out of play. Mike Schmidt homered in the Philadelphia first inning. And after walks to Pete Rose and Schmidt of the 4th, Keith Moreland singled in a run, Gary Matthews singled in a run, and Gary Maddox's fly ball got another one home. Off-speed pitch is outside to Russell. 2-2. Now Russell asking the plate umpire Lanny Harris to check the baseball. If the Phillies go on and win tonight, they will reach the 500 mark in road games this year at 8-8. And the Phillies will move within a half a game of the idle Cardinals of the National League East. 4-0 Philadelphia in the 7th with 1 out and nobody on. 22-year-old Marty Bystrom into the windup, and the 2-2 pitch to Russell. A ground ball to third, foul before it gets to Mike Schmidt. Schmidt was making an interesting observation this spring. He said, when you're an infielder and you play so many games on artificial surfaces, you sometimes get lackadaisical. The grass will fool you. Schmidt made an error yesterday in San Diego. Russell pops one up to Mike. Moreland coming down, though, and Moreland calls Schmidt off and makes the catch halfway to third. So Russell out on a foul pop to the Philly catcher, Keith Moreland. 2 away. And here's Rick Monday batting for Fernando Valenzuela.
Number 16, Rick Monday.
This year has 4 base hits, hitting 167. 2 out, nobody on in the 7th inning. Marty Bystrom's first pitch to Monday is low and inside for a ball. Monday, in his National League career, has hit far more home runs against the Phillies than any other club. He had 3 homers in the game against the Phillies in 1972, and Rick swings and misses. The count 1-1. Monday's first bat in the league came against Steve Carlton in Philadelphia, and Rick singled in that ball game. The next pitch to Monday is driven to left. It'll fall for a base hit. Over toward the line to get it is Gary Matthews. Ball bobbled by Matthews. Monday going for second, and he's in there standing. Single and an error on Gary Matthews. The Phillies commit their second error of the ball game. Keith Moreland picked up the other one when he overthrew second base trying to catch a stealing Ken Landreau in the 3rd inning. As we were pointing out a moment ago, when Schmidt made the error yesterday in San Diego, it was the Phillies' first error in the last 7 games. So again, the Dodgers have a man in scoring position. The batter is Darryl Thomas, who's 0 for 3 tonight. Bystrom out of the stretch in the pitch to Darryl. Low for a ball. Landreau got as far as third base in both the first and third innings. Garvey was at second base in the 6th inning. And now Monday at second base with 2 away in the 7th. And the Phillies leading the Dodgers 4-0. Bystrom at the bell delivers. A high fly ball to center. Maddox going back, still going back. And it makes a great catch over his shoulder, falling down and holding on to it. Wow. Gold Glover, Gary Maddox was in shallow for Darryl Thomas, and the ball almost sailed over his head. But Danny Longlegs kept going back and reached out and caught it and then tumbled over and held on to the ball. So Bystrom has still got his shutout. 1 hit in the inning, and the Dodgers leave a man. At the end of 7, no change. The Phillies 4, and the Dodgers nothing.
Hello, I'm Linda Lavin. Now more than ever, as a new decade begins, we can make a difference in the lives of hundreds of thousands of men, women, and children the world over. New pioneers revitalizing the open spaces of an ancient homeland. Immigrants from lands of distress. Disadvantaged youngsters looking towards a better future. Neighbors, young and old, in need of direction and dignity. We
can make a difference in all their lives. The difference between discouragement and hope, between frustration and fulfillment, by supporting our community campaign. Thank you.
WJNO News Radio time. It's 15 and a half minutes after the hour of 8 o'clock. I'm John Fricano.
I'm John Clark Wheeler. But where I would most rather be is my old stomping grounds in Birmingham, Alabama.
Paul Harvey. Good day.
Dallas Townsend, CBS News. Skies are clearing, but it's only briefly. A new storm is coming. John Coleman, ABC News, Chicago.
This is the Wall Street Journal report, where gold is going and why.
Mornings on WJNO News Radio.
Certain. Fernando Valenzuela will now win his 9th game of the year here tonight. He's gone, and he's trailing 4-0 as Dave Stewart picks up for him in the 8th inning. Before we see about the top of the Philly order, let's pause for station identification. This is the Los Angeles Dodgers Radio Network.
This is WJNO West Palm Beach, where mornings you'll hear the morning team of John Fricano, John Clark Wheeler, Gabby Bell, and Paul Harvey. WJNO News Radio, all you'll ever need to know.
Fernando Valenzuela went 7 innings, allowed 4 runs and 3 hits, struck out 6, walked 2. But Marty Bystrom's got the better of him tonight, at least through 7. Let's go to the 8th and for more play. Once again, here's Vince.
All right, Ross. Dave Stewart, who is not the forgotten man, he's the unknown man in the Dodger bullpen, comes in to pick up the pieces for Fernando, and the fastball is inside to Lonnie Smith, ball 1-0. Dave is from Oakland. The last time he got into a game was the 5th of May. Just about 2 weeks ago. There's a ground ball to Gerald Thomas, who picks it up over to Garvey in time, 1 away. There are a lot of people in the ballpark who are disappointed, of course, because the drama they came to see unraveled pretty early. But in retrospect, you have to remember that against the world champion Philadelphia Phillies, in 7 innings, Valenzuela allowed 3 hits. That's all, 3 hits. It wasn't as if he was pushed around. He was a little wild, and even his wildness was a case of trying to be too fine to 2 of the better hitters in the league, Rose and Schmidt. Pete hitting left-handed now, fouls 1 away off to the left out of play, 0-1. So allowing only 3 hits, Fernando has to go out trailing 4-0. Dave Stewart checking Mike Socia, the right-hander ready, in the strike 1 pitch. Fastball swung on and missed, strike 2, 0-2. Dave Stewart, when he came into the Dodger organization, he originally was signed as a catcher. The strike 2 pitch on the way. Fastball very high. Socha up to get it, 1-2. Dave is from Oakland. He's only 24 years old. He's been pitching professionally since 75. Next pitch is fouled away. A hard slider right in on the handle. And the count 1-2. In fact, Rose checking the handle of the bat because he was properly jammed with that one. Dave working on Rose. 1 out in the 8th. 4-0 Philadelphia. Stewart into the windup. And the 1-2 pitch, low and inside, ball 2. For Stewart, of course, this is a very big assignment. He's not mopping up, not by any means. This is an important outing point. Dave ready, Rose waiting. Stewart into the windup, and the 2-2 pitch is a half-swing foul behind the plate, and still 2-2. Since he is somewhat of an unknown factor, he has not been used very much. Stewart has only pitched 5 innings, but he has walked 8. And, of course, if there's a stigma attached to a man whose job is relief, it would be he's wild, and he's trying to fight that. The 2-2 pitch, fastball hit to the left of Russell. Bill is up with it near the bag and throws out Rose. 2 down in the 8th inning. You know, the Phillies have not had a hit since Matthews singled in the 4th inning. And as we said, Fernando, even though he goes out trailing 4-0, he can console himself with the fact only 3 hits. Here's Schmidt. Mike, the muscle man, homered to right field in the 1st inning, walked and grounded out since. He's 1 for 2. And Stewart's fastball missed, ball 1, 1-0. When the Dodgers hit in the bottom of the 8th, Landreau, Baker, and Garvey. Now the 1-0 pitch to Mike Schmidt. Fouled away, off to the right upstairs. It would appear as if Stewart's thrown pretty hard. 1-1, the count to Mike Schmidt. Keith Moreland, the catcher, on deck. Stewart into the windup. The 1-1 pitch to Schmidt. Outside, ball 2-1. Dave was a high school All-American in football and baseball. As a kid, they called him Snake. The 2-1 pitch. Stewart's fastball is swung on and missed 2-2. Good location on that. At Albuquerque last year, he won 15, leading the Coast League in innings pitched and tied for the lead in wins with the 15. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Stewart ready, and back he comes. Fastball got him swinging, and he is throwing hard. So a very impressive 8th inning for Dave Stewart. At the end of 7.5, Phillies 4, Dodgers nothing.
Ladies and gentlemen, for some time now, I've been suggesting that you remember a certain car dealer's name. And I want to see if that little test is working. When I say cars, who comes to mind? Roger Dean Chevrolet. How about when I say savings? Roger Dean Chevrolet. What about service and parts? Roger Dean Chevrolet. How about used cars? Roger Dean Chevrolet. How about trucks and high trade-ins? Roger Dean Chevrolet. How about great financing? Roger Dean Chevrolet. How about big selection? Roger Dean Chevrolet. Well, I see now that perhaps you folks were listening. What do you take us for, some dumb bunny or something? We wouldn't forget a name like Roger Dean Chevrolet, Sonny. Are you crazy? Roger Dean Chevrolet. Okeechobee and Congress Boulevard in West Palm Beach. A name worth repeating. Go ahead. Repeat the name. Yes, repeat the name, Sonny. It's a name worth repeating. Roger Dean Chevrolet. A name worth remembering.
As they go to the 8th inning, Ron Reed goes out to the mound instead of Marty Bystrom. Bystrom, you remember, was behind to a lot of hitters in the 6th inning, and Reed warmed up. Then in the 7th inning, with 2 out on a base hit, and Darrell Thomas almost succeeded in hitting the ball over the head of Gary Maddox. Of course, a lot of people have almost succeeded in hitting a ball over Gary Maddox's head, but he's come up with a Gold Glove and every ball. As we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, 4 runs, 3 hits for Philadelphia, and 2 errors. The Dodgers, no runs, 5 hits, and 2 errors. And Ron Reed, off the campus of Notre Dame, spent a lot of years with the Atlanta Braves. Reed, at one time, played in the NBA with Detroit. In fact, he was playing baseball and basketball the same year. So Reed is charged with the responsibility of keeping the Dodgers away because Marty Bystrom, allowing no runs, 5 hits. And Bystrom gives way to Reed, and the Dodgers now with Landreau, Baker, Garvey. Reed, Landreau. Ready to work to Landreau, who is 2 for 3. Reed does not have a record. He's in his 8th game. Right-hander did not pitch well against the Dodgers in Philadelphia. Landreau takes high, ball 1, 1-0. One ball, no strike. Landreau swings and doesn't get it. In a game the Dodgers appeared to have won and lost in Philadelphia 8-7. Reed gave up 3 runs, charged with 3 runs in 1 inning. Now the 1-1 pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and missed. That was a good location on the outside part of the plate at the knees. Kenny hitting .299. Reed into the windup, and the 1-2 pitch. Landreau pokes it foul off third, out of play. Philadelphia defensively with Ron Reed and Keith Moreland. At infield is Pete Rose, Manny Trio, Larry Bowe, and Mike Schmidt. Greg Gross is now in right field. The 1-2 pitch is swung on and missed, and down goes Landreau. Gary Maddox in center and Gary Matthews in left. If you are keeping score of this game, you can put Greg Gross in the number 9 spot where Bystrom was, and you could put Reed in the leadoff spot where Lonnie Smith was. Here's Baker. Reed delivers, and the fastball picks up the inside corner, strike 1. Dusty hitting .307. Just one home run, 15 runs batted in. And the strike one pitch. Down and away. 1-1. Dusty grounded out in the first inning, walked and flied to center, so he's 0 for 2. 1-1 pitch coming up. Reed delivers and waving at it is Dusty, way out in front. In fact, his right hand came off the bat. He swung one-handed. 1-2. Reed comes back to his hitter inside at the kneecaps with a fastball, 2-2. The 2-2 pitch to Baker is a ground ball sharply to Mike Schmidt, and Mike picks it up, throws over to Rose. So 2 down in the 8th inning. So with 52,439 paid and over 55,000 in the ballpark, the Dodgers are running out of outs and are faced with the unhappy thought of not only losing, but of being shut out for the first time this year at home. Here's Garvey, fly to right, deep, fly to center, and single to center. Reed's pitch, a change over for a strike, 0-1. Bob Welch and Dick Ruffin tomorrow night, Bird Hooton and Steve Carlton Wednesday night. And Garvey not ready and backs out, something in his eye. Now the strike one pitch underway. Low and outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. So the stage was set, a huge crowd. Fernando's mom and dad here, along with his sister, and it didn't work out quite the way the Dodgers wanted. The 1-1 pitch, Garvey fooled, has a bad swing in the count 1-2. But life is like that, isn't it? When the line was written, the best laid plans of mice and men, it sure holds up. The 1-2 pitch is hit up the middle for a base hit. So Garvey hits a shot by Reed into center field. Steve goes 2 for 4, and the batter is Ron Suggs. The Dodgers have been thoroughly blanked tonight by Marty Bystrom, yet they have at least gotten men on base in 6 of the 8 innings. It hasn't done them any good. They've left Landreau at third twice. The hearers say Reed delivers, and Ron checks, drops to his right knee. It's going to cost him a strike anyway, in the count 0-1. Day batting .303. Dodgers have left a half a dozen. Pedro Guerrero on deck. Reed looks back at Garvey. The strike one pitch is a fly ball to Gary Maddox. He's right there, and that'll be that. So the Dodgers are a harmless hit, and at the end of 8, Philadelphia 4, and the Dodgers nothing.
Pardon me, you wouldn't happen to have a pair of glasses that needs polishing, would you?
A pair of glasses?
See, I suddenly have this urge for a cigarette.
I see. Well, what does polishing glasses have to do with your sudden urge for a cigarette?
Well, I do that instead of smoking.
You polish glasses?
Well, sometimes I take a shower.
Here, take the glasses.
Oh, thanks.
That replace your craving for a cigarette, does it?
Well, that's one of the things.
Oh.
Like I said, sometimes I take a shower, sometimes I exercise, go for a walk.
Listen, where'd you learn all this anyway?
From the American Lung Association.
The American Lung Association?
They have this new program, see, called Freedom from Smoking.
Freedom from Smoking?
Helps you to kick the habit in just 20 days.
20 days?
On your own.
Hey, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, tell me, do you find it's helped you?
Well, you don't see me smoking, do you?
No.
I mean, I really wanted a cigarette, but I didn't give in, did I?
No, you sure didn't.
Now, if I can just get rid of this urge to polish glasses. Yeah, right. You wouldn't happen to have another pair on you, would you? The sunglasses, swim goggles?
If you really want to kick the habit, but need help doing it, contact your local American Lung Association for information on their Freedom from Smoking program. As always, it's a matter of life and breath.
To the 9th inning here at Dodger Stadium. The Phillies 4 runs, only 3 hits, but the 3 hits had done the job. First, there was a home run by Mike Schmidt in the first inning with nobody on. And then in the 4th inning, Valenzuela perhaps trying to be a little fine, and they all do that. He went 3-2 to Pete Rose, having just missed with a 2-2 curveball. Then going 3-2, and he walked Rose. Then Mike Schmidt came up, and he was giving Mike Schmidt the silk glove treatment. After getting out in front with a couple of screwballs, he went to 3-2, and he walked Schmidt. And then Moreland came up to front, fouled it off, and then they take the front off, and Moreland singled home Rose. Matthews followed with a base hit to score Schmidt. Maddox fly ball got Moreland home, and that's been it. Keith hits a high foul off third. It's playable. Ron Say in front of the Dodger dugout puts it away. Gary Matthews will be coming up. Meanwhile, with only 3 hits, Philadelphia with 4 runs, and Marty Bystrom made them stand up. The Dodgers really never made much of a run at Bystrom. Nothing where really had a serious rally going. They had 2 on in the 6th inning, but they had 2 out. So here is Gary Matthews. Struck out, singled aboard on an error. He's 1 for 3. Dave Stewart delivers. Breaking ball fouled away. 0-1. Well, Valenzuela got a break when you think about it. When Royce couldn't start opening day and Fernando made the most of it. Dave Stewart trying to get a break here tonight. The strike 1 pitch. High. 1-1. Stewart into the windup. Now Dave's 1-1 pitch on the way. Fastball high, but boy, that was some smoke behind that one. 2-1 to count. Gary Maddox waiting his turn on deck. The 2-1 pitch to Gary. Stewart delivers on the hands, foul back. Second deck just to the right of the plate, and the count 2-2. Top of the 9th. Philadelphia 4, Dodgers nothing. And Dave Stewart ready with his 2-2 pitch. Fastball got him slinging. Boy, he does bring some smoke here tonight. He struck out Schmidt in the 8th inning. So 2 out in the 9th inning. And Gary Maddox coming up, popped up, had a scoring fly ball, hit into a force play, took a home run away from Ron Say, and made a catch of a ball hit over his head by Darrell Thomas. Otherwise, Gary hasn't done anything tonight. He's hitting .314. Marvelous all-around ball player, Gary Maddox. The pitch to Gary, waved out and missed. Breaking ball in the count 0-1. When the Dodgers bat in the 9th, they have Guerrero, Socia, and Russell. Strike 1 pitch is foul back, so Stewart has Maddox 0-2. The strike 2 pitch to Gary. Breaking ball outside, ball 1. 1-2. Welsh and Ruthven tomorrow night. Hooten and Carlton Wednesday night. Then the Dodgers go out on the road to Cincinnati and Atlanta. The 1-2 pitch swung on and missed. Strike 3. That's 3 strikeouts in 2 innings, 6 in a row retired by Stewart, and he gets a round of applause. And at the end of 8.5 innings, Phillies 4, Dodgers nothing.
Here's the repair order that I signed, and your estimate. And look, my note on this estimate says I have to approve any charge over $78. You okayed that with your initials. So I will pay the $78, but that's all.
That consumer followed the rules. She was prepared. She got it in writing. She made her complaint briefly, politely, but firmly. Even if she has to go to the supervisor or the boss, she'll get satisfaction. But the most important thing to know about complaints is that you can avoid most of them. Check things out before you buy. But keep your sales receipts, warranties, everything, just in case. Then if you have a complaint, you can probably resolve it easily. And if you can't, don't give up. If you need help, contact the local Consumer Protection Agency. A public service message on behalf of the United States Office of Consumers Education.
The bottom of the 9th inning with Philadelphia leading the Dodgers 4-0. For the Phillies, 4 runs, 3 hits, and 2 errors. For the Dodgers, no runs, 6 hits, and 2 errors. Guerrero struck out twice and hit into a force play against Bystrom. So Pedro will have his first at-bat against Ron Reed. Reed checking. It's a bit of irony, of course, with Bystrom, the pitcher of record tonight. Reed ready and delivers outside, ball 1. Bystrom had a perfect 7-0 big league record until the Dodgers beat him in Philadelphia. Valenzuela had a perfect 10-0 big league record, including last year. And Philadelphia will pin the tail on him. Fly ball to left field. Matthews looking up and waiting and makes the catch. So 1 away.
Mike Socia, catcher.
Mike Socia has singled, grounded out, and flied out. Socia is 1 for 3. 4-0 Philadelphia. The Dodgers involved in 9 shutouts this year. The Dodgers winning 8 of them. The one they lost was in Houston to Bob Knepper. Remember, he beat Jerry Royce. The first pitch to Mike Socia in at the knuckles, and that skimmed off. Got a little bit, I think, of plate umpire Lanny Harris. Ball one. May the 18th. Joe DiMaggio had 3 hits on this day. That was the 4th straight day he had collected a hit. It went on to hit 56. Pitch a strike, 1-1. Henry Aaron hit his 8th Grand Slam home run on this date. Frank Howard had a big day on this date in 1968. He had 2 home runs to set a major league record of 10 home runs in 6 consecutive games. In 1968, Don Drysdale shut out the Astros 1-0 at Dodger Stadium, and it was the second of his 6 consecutive shutouts and 18 of his 58 2/3 consecutive scoreless innings. The 2-1 pitch to Socia outside, ball 3. All of that occurred down through the years on May the 18th. 3-1 to Socia. Bill Russell on deck. Reed into the windup. Ron delivers high, and Socia's aboard with a walk. So Bill Russell will be coming up with Jay Johnstone on deck. Russell struck out, grounded out, fouled out, 0 for 3. Bill is at that stage now where he is battling to keep his head above water, fighting to keep his average above 200. The pitch to Russell almost hit him, ball 1, and Moreland out to talk to Ron Reed. 4-0 Philadelphia with 1 out, bottom of the 9th inning. $52,439 paid, over 55,000 in the ballpark tonight. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Russell. He backs off, but it's in there for a strike, and the count 1-1. Socia at first, they're not holding him on. The 1-1 pitch to Russell is a ground foul outside of third, and the count 1-2. The Phillies with 3 hits. That's all they got. That's all they've needed. They're leading the Dodgers 4-0 in the 9th inning. Lanny Harris again walking away and looking out in an area in center field. And again, Lanny from the area walks out and play will be halted. Sometimes if there is an ambulance where you can see the twinkling light on the roof, and if the ambulance is far back, and that's what it is, here comes the ambulance, it's far back, then the lights can be seen at home plate. Here's the 1-2 pitch to Russell, slice foul off first in the lower deck, still 1-2. Bottom of the 9th, 4-0 Philadelphia. Reed ready and delivers, and he's low and away. 2-2. Guerrero flied out. Socia has just walked, and Russell, who is 0 for 3, is up there at 2-2. Big Ron Reed out of his stretch. The right-hander delivers, and there's a slow roller foul up along third. So it's still 2 balls, 2 strikes. In 1974, the Dodgers shut out the Braves in this date and were leading the league by 7. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Russell, it's a ground ball to short. Ball backs up, goes to Trio, back to first, too late. As Socia in hard to try and break up the double play and succeeded to a degree. So Russell hits into a force play. 2 out, and Jay Johnstone is the batter.
Batting for Stewart, number 21, Jay Johnstone.
Don't forget the postgame show. We'll have a chance to check all the scores in detail. Johnstone batting for Stewart. Monday had batted for Valenzuela and singled in the 7th inning. Johnstone takes outside, ball 1, 1-0. 4 runs, 3 hits for Philadelphia. No runs, 6 hits for the Dodgers. Each side committing 2 errors tonight. The 1-0 pitch. In there for a strike, 1-1. Reggie Smith comes out on deck to bat for Darrell Thomas. 1-1 to Jay Johnstone. Reed straightens up. And the 1-1 pitch, Jay looks, and the breaking ball floats in and over for a strike, 1-2. Johnstone, who at one time played for Philadelphia, is 2 for 21, so his average is under 100. Tough job that's coming off the bench. The fastball outside, ball 2, 2-2. Ron Reed trying to pick this one up and hand it to Marty Weissman. The 2-2 pitch to Johnstone. Off speed, he hit her up the end of the bat foul up along third, and it's still 2-2. So it looks like the Dodgers administered the first loss to Bystrom's career, and Marty and Philadelphia trying to administer the first loss to Valenzuela. Here's the 2-2 pitch to Jay Johnstone. Fastball on the hands, a little fly ball to center. Gary Maddox will put it away, and that's it. The Dodgers can't do a thing against Marty Bystrom and Ron Reed. The total's 4 runs, 3 hits, that's all, and 2 errors for the Phils. No runs, 6 hits, 2 errors for the Dodgers. The Dodgers' 7-game winning streak is snapped. Tomorrow night, Bob Welch and Dick Ruffin. Wednesday night, Bert Newton and Steve Carlin. Once again, the final score, the Phillies 4, the Dodgers nothing. Now for Jerry.
When you waste energy on the road, you're not only hurting your state and your country, you're also hurting yourself and your family, because you're literally burning up money. If you want to survive without driving yourself into debt in the 80s, you'd better learn everything you can about driving costs and about changing your driving habits. You'd better find the most energy-efficient car you can drive for your needs and your money, and how to keep your tires properly inflated to get more miles per gallon. You'd better find out why you should let your car idle for 30 seconds and how to plan your trips properly for getting better mileage around town or on the highway. In today's world, energy is everything. Save it on the road. Save it, Florida. Send for Florida's money and energy-saving tips on driving. Write Save It on the Road, the capital, Tallahassee, Florida, 32301. This message brought to you by the Governor's Energy Office and this station.